We are live at Clem Richardson Stadium for a true battle of the Bay tonight. The two largest high schools in Mobile and Baldwin counties are about to clash in a huge 7A Region 1 matchup. Can the Fairhope Pirates come in to pillage and plunder Baker and steal a win, or will the Hornets turn those pilfering Pirates away with a stinging loss and place their playoff hopes in peril? We find out next with the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Al Wheaton, joined by Corey LeBounty. Down on the sidelines, we have Kimberly Dunn. And Corey, it's all about the 3 Ps tonight. Playoff positioning possibility.
Without question, it's so very important when you're looking at the end of this season. The seeding tonight, head-to-head matchups will be in play because we know that Murphy beat Fairhope. On the other side of that, you have Baker yet to play Murphy.
That's
so
correct.
There's a lot of football yet to be played. Jostling for position as Theodore and McGill are the top 2 positions in 7A Region 1 at this point in time. But what a big win for either one of these teams, like you said, positioning themselves to propel themselves into the playoffs.
And speaking of the Baker Hornets and winning, Corey, they have never, ever beaten Fairhope.
And that's huge. That's something that Coach talked about all week long to his team. And anytime it's on the board in the locker room and you're walking around and seeing it, you want to be the first to have an opportunity to defeat the Fairhope Pirates.
All right, the excitement is here at Clem Richardson Stadium. Let's take it down to the sidelines and check in with our reporter, Kimberly Dunn.
You said it, Al. There's a lot of excitement here on the sidelines tonight. But first, we're going to get into our weather forecast that is presented to us by the Future One's weather forecast. So it is feeling good on the field right now, but we are keeping an eye out on the sky because there are some chances of rain tonight, and they really increase around 8 p.m. with 35%. So we're hoping that that will stay away, but we're keeping our eyes on the sky, and as those rain chances increase, so does that humidity. So we're hoping that it will stay cool for these players and these teams to play some great football.
Thank you, Kimberly. We appreciate that. Had a chance to talk to head referee Ron Coleman. Corey, we will have heat timeouts tonight, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to where it was the hottest September on record.
Right.
We're here in October, and it already feels like it's still August. There's a nice breeze, as Kimberly mentioned, on the field, but the practice conditions throughout the week, you feel like you're in June, July, or August because, again, record highs of 95 to 97, the heat index being at 103 to 104 degrees when both of these teams are on the practice field. So, again, conditioning is critical for both of these teams throughout the contest.
And speaking of critical, it's critical that one of these teams will get the win tonight, both on 2-game winning streaks. So, Corey, what's on your checklist for the Baker Hornets? They are the home team tonight.
Yeah, it's very simple, Al. The Baker Hornets are going to bounce a lot of plays to the outside. That consists of perimeter runs and perimeter passes because Coach feels that the strength of this Fairhope defense is internally in the linemen. They also have to have great special teams play. And what do I mean by that? In all phases of special teams, punts return, kickoffs, and extra points have to be flawless. Flipping the field is going to be critical for the Baker Hornets. And being red zone ready. When they get inside the 20-yard line of the Pirates, they're going to have to put points on the board. They don't want to walk away with nothing. And it's going to be important, again, if they have an opportunity to score that touchdown, that they make the extra point as well.
All right, what you have lined up for Fairhope tonight on your checklist?
Preventing the Pirate penalties, drive killers is what coaches calls them, and it's very important that Fairhope stays ahead down and distance-wise. They don't need to go overboard with turnovers, and taking care of the pigskin and protecting it tonight is something Coach Carter has emphasized all week long, and something that could be a difference in this game, 1 or 2 turnovers. Also, they have to sail strong for 4 quarters. They have to finish the football game. I know they would love to have that Murphy game back, but you want to learn from that situation, and I think the Fairhope Pirates, in order to sail strong, they have to finish strong.
All right, Corey, appreciate that. That's the look at the checklist. Let's get up the starting lineups for both of these teams. As you know, Baker is the home team, so we'll take a look at their starting lineup on offense, led by senior quarterback Nick Summerlin, is one of only 2 returning starters for the Hornets offense. Summerlin has thrown for nearly 900 yards with 7 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. He's a 57% passer. Now, the workhorse for the offense is running back Jashawn McMillan. He is out tonight, being replaced by DeMarquez Williams, a 5'9", 160-pound senior. Baker likes to air it out under offensive coordinator Justin Patterson, so look for Leo Richards, Isaiah Dixon, and Trey Daughtry to haul in passes, and keep your eyes for number 88 senior tight end Cade Collier. He's a big target at 6'8" and may be featured in some packages tonight. Now for Fairhope on the defense, the Pirates play a 4-3, and they have 5 returning starters. Defensive tackle Jerry Bethea leads a line that averages 239 pounds, and he is second in tackles on the team behind Mike linebacker Grayson Hooks. The secondary is led by senior free safety Braxton Jordan. He has 2 picks on the season and is the Pirates' punt returner. Fairhope possesses a +5 turnover ratio. Now let's flip it over and look at the Fairhope offense led by dual sport athlete Riley Jordan. The guy plays basketball also. His first year starting at quarterback. He stands tall in the pocket, Corey, 6'4", and he's a 55% passer with 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. He looks over an upperclassman offensive line that averages about 218 pounds. In the backfield, junior flanker Silene Cohen averages nearly 4 yards a carry with 10 yards per reception, so we may call his name a bit tonight. And on the edge, keep your eyes open for number 4 junior wide receiver Dre Matthews. He's the Pirates' leading receiver at 14 yards a catch. And also David Sampe is another target they like to get the ball to. Now on the opposite side for the Baker defense, they play a 3-4 and only returning 1 starter from last year. Inside linebacker Devin Nobles, who along with inside linebacker Jaden Blackman are leading the team in tackles. They both will be all over the field tonight. The defensive line is young, averaging 232 pounds. So offensive linebacker Terry Kirksey, he's going to place his hands in the dirt and rush in from defensive end tonight to add some speed to the backers. Strong safety Jamarcus McCall moves over to outside linebacker for this game. The Hornets defense has 9 sacks, 3 picks, and 7 fumble recoveries on the season. Baker possesses a +6 turnover ratio, Corey. So this should be an interesting ball game tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very important, though, for the Baker Hornets and their defensive coordinator, Coach Todd, to keep Leonard in the pocket.
Right.
That's what's going to be critical. If you can keep Riley in the pocket and not allow him to get to the outside to create plays with his strong arm and with his legs, that's going to be very important. And you're also looking at some other notes. Like you said, the very important thing is for the Baker Hornets, they have not had a bye week since week 0 and have gone all the way through. So there's no rest for the weary. Coaches prepared them for this all summer long, and we'll see how it ends here through 4 quarters of football.
All right, we're going to take a break and come back and have your kickoff. It's the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Parents, will your child be 4 years of age on or before September 1st, 2020? If so, mark your calendar for this January for pre-K open enrollment. In order to enroll your child, you must complete the online pre-K registration. For a complete list of pre-K sites as well as screening information and selection dates, visit mcpss.com. For your chance to be a part of Alabama's first-class pre-K program, log on this January. In Mobile County Public Schools, we are learning today, leading tomorrow.
I have known since I was in 4th grade that I was going to be a teacher. I really just truly enjoy coming to work every day and working with different sets of kids and just watching them grow and learn.
I couldn't see myself doing anything other than teaching children, being a part of children's lives, being able to inspire them in a way that some people just aren't able to do. And to know that every day is a new day, a new opportunity to make a difference in the child's life means everything to me.
My name is Harshini. I'm a junior at Davidson High School, and after graduation, I plan on pursuing a career in dermatology. Currently, I'm taking science classes such as AP Chemistry, Biology, and Human Anatomy, which will help me pursue my career. I feel as though Mobile County is preparing me for my career choice in that they provide rigorous classes that help me think further beyond just what I'm learning. I'm Harshini Cannon, a junior at Davidson High School, and I'm learning today so I can be a leader tomorrow.
A trunk or treat event is coming to Langham Park, hosted by the Mobile Police Department and Mobile Fire Rescue, Saturday, October the 19th from 4 to 8 p.m. It's a free, fun, and safe Halloween event for the entire family. Spooky fun throughout the park, police vehicles and fire trucks on display, costume contests for prizes, and lots of candy for trick-or-treaters. Join us October the 19th, 4 to 8 p.m. at Langdon Park.
We welcome you back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. I'm Al Wheaton, joined by Corley Bounty. Down on the sidelines, we have Kimberly Dunn. And a special shout-out, Corey, to our friends across the bay on Pirate Nation TV watching us over there in Baldwin County tonight.
Yeah, we're always enjoy when the Pirate Nation jumps on board and have an opportunity tonight to see two great football games. You mentioned playoff implications on the line. And Al, I want to go back to piggyback off what you said in your pregame introductions. Baker only having one returning offensive starter and one returning defensive starter. So this is a fairly young Baker team.
It is.
Even though we're 7 weeks into high school football, the more reps that they can get, the more games that they can play under their belt. Sometimes you don't see that maturity until week number 6, 7, or 8, especially with Baker not having any buys. But the Fairhope Pirates coming into tonight looking to go ahead and try to get that ship sailing in the right direction here at Clem Richardson Stadium.
Baker will be receiving the kickoff here, and Fairhope has deferred till the second half. Back to receive the kickoff, DeMarquez Williams, who's getting the start tonight at running back because Jay-Sean McMillan is out, and also joined by Isaiah Dixon lining up to get this kick. Luke Freer about to put toe to leather, as you like to call it, Corey, and we're about to be underway here at Clem Richardson Stadium. Friday night football is headed your way. Baker lets that one go into the end zone, so they'll take the touchback, and we'll get our first look at Nick Summerlin bringing in the offense out onto the field. And once again, as we talked about it earlier, big shout out to our folks over there at Pirate Nation Live. They are taking our feed tonight, Corey.
And I want to give a shout out to somebody who's special to Pirate Nation, Richard Brunson.
Mr. Brunson.
AKA Mr. B.
Mr. B.
My high school teacher, one of my favorites of all time. Matter of fact, my favorite teacher of all time from the Mobile County Public School System.
Mine as well. Yeah, taught me television production back in the day. First to 10 for the Hornets, lined up at the 20-yard line. Our first time covering Baker this season. As we talked about at the top of the broadcast, largest high schools for both counties playing tonight, Baker and Fairhope. Handoff to Williams, and he is met at the line by a few Pirates. It'll be second down and long here for Baker.
Yeah, that first Pirate was the defensive tackle, Jerry Bethea. 36 solo tackles now on the season for this young man, and that's what Fairhope wants Baker to do, is to run right into the interior lineman. I mentioned that Baker has to have a lot of screen and perimeter passes to the outside, because when you go into the teeth of the defense, nothing good is going to happen for you.
Second and 14. And we have our first penalty of the ball game. Possibly going to be against the Hornets.
Got a false start against the offense. 5-yard penalty, and down.
So Baker starting in the hole, Corey. You don't want to start that way for Coach Steve Norman. Second and 19. There's a look at our officials tonight on your screen.
Ron Coleman, our white hat tonight, was just on the call, along with some other great officials, David Monty, Jerry Burns, Lonnie Eaton, Anthony Garrett, Joey Toxey, and Scooter Collins.
Baker has trips receivers to the near side. They go back to Williams. He's got some room on the top there. Cross the numbers and steps out of bounds, maybe about the 26-yard line. So nice game for Baker. Kind of gets some good field position back there, Corey.
DeMarquez Williams, the 5'9", 160-pound senior on the carry, and you saw where he picks up the yardage to the outside at the perimeter of that Fairhope defense. You're now in a situation to where you're in third and manageable. I mean, that long down and distance situation that happened on second down, the Pirates gave up a lot of yards that they didn't want to give up in that situation. Defensive coordinator Avery Warney wants to clean that up.
3rd and 5 here for the Hornets. Look out for Leo Richards on the near side here on the numbers to us. As they go across the middle, the big Cade Collier, talked about him. They're going to have some special packages, and there's one as he comes out of his tight end position straight up the seam. And, Corey, that's a first down.
moves the sticks. You look at a great pass by Nick Summerlin. It's not hard to miss the 6'5", 205-pound senior, the wide receiver. A great throw, and again, I can't speak enough about Nick Summerlin's ability to run this Baker Hornets offense. He's a young man that stands up at 6'1", has a very lively arm, an accurate arm, and I know colleges, they've been sleeping on this young man, but he's a diamond in the rough, if you ask me, Al.
Little quick out pass from Summerlin. Gets that one out to Williams for a couple of yards, maybe about 2 or 3. It'll take the Hornets to second down.
And it's, again, a situation to where everything's bouncing to the outside. If run up the middle, you want to try to make them respect that. But how you're going to stop this Baker Hornet offense team is to get pressure on Nick Summerlin. If you're not able to do that directly, he's going to have a lot of quick screens and quick passes to the perimeter.
Summerlin looking over to the sideline to get the call from offensive coordinator Justin Patterson. Under 10 on the play clock. Little RPO, and the Pirates eat that one up, Corey. That's going to be a loss for Baker. Take him to third down.
That's exactly what you're going to have to do. Kurt Lipscomb from his defensive end position comes in and now has 18 solo tackles. 2 sacks coming into tonight's contest. Almost picks up his 3rd sack on the season, but again puts Baker behind the sticks down and distance-wise.
3rd and about 12 here. Trip receivers to the bottom of the screen. Williams goes out of the backfield. He's wide open. Summerlin trying to get it to him, but maybe look downfield. And Ron Coleman throws a flag, and Summerlin throws back across his body to hook up with Williams across the midfield stripe, going to the 40 and being taken down about the 38-yard line. But we do have a flag. I saw Ron Coleman throw that one myself, Corey.
You have multiple flags on the play, and it's probably going to be called against the Baker Hornets. And we're going to bring that back, as it is going to be a holding right there. And that's a huge penalty. That's something that you want to stay away from, because you take the magic of Nick Summerlin reversing his direction in field and finding an open wide receiver who continued to run the route. And that's just unfortunate if you're a Baker Hornet fan. But off of a busted play, Summerlin does a good job. You just have to get those hands in position and keep them high and tight and not grab any jersey. But like you said, the multiple flags made it easy to call.
So Coleman has both of the offensive lines near the ball as they're discussing matters here.
I know we definitely had one holding.
Right.
For certain that Ron Coleman had, and like I said, there were multiple flags.
We have 2 fouls on the play. We had a holding offense and elder receiver downfield offense. They'll decline, the holding, decline. They're going to take the ineligible, 5-yard penalty, and a loss of down. Here we go.
So with that being a loss of down, Corey, that's going to move Baker to 4th down, and they'll have to bring on the punting squad.
Yeah, it's a situation to where I would take the loss of down as well if you're the Fairhope Pirates, and now they're going to have to try to put themselves in flipping the field in great field position if they're able to get this ball going north and south. Looks like Braxton Jordan will be deep for the Fairhope Pirates.
All right, Jordan back to receive this punt from Josh LeBourgeois. Bourgeois lining up at about the 11-yard line. Gets a nice punt off there. And Jordan going to call for the fair catch at about the 41. So we'll get our first look at the Fairhope Pirates. Corey, while I got a break, let's try to get the impact players up for Baker. Who do you have tonight as your impact players for those Hornets?
Well, I think one of the most important players on the field for the Hornets is Nick Summerlin. I mentioned to you the wizardry that he showed on that last scramble for the busted play and had that big completion, but also Devin Nobles, a senior linebacker, is going to be an impact player for the Baker Hornets.
Play about to start right here. We'll try to get this one off and get the Fairhope impact players on. Our first look at Riley Leonard. Talked about he plays basketball. Averaged about 17 points this past season and had 40 steals on the hardwood, Corey. So first year starting at quarterback for him. Former wide receiver has come over to help Coach Tim Carter in quarterback.
So much fun to watch on the basketball floor. It's going to be interesting to see what he does basketball on grass now.
The quick handoff for the Pirates as they get that out to Kylan Cohen, picks up a couple yards. It'll be 2nd and 5. Let's take a quick look at the impact players for the Pirates tonight.
Riley Leonard, again, the junior quarterback, the signal caller for this Fairhope Pirates team, and also a running back, Kylan Cohen, who just had that carry, huge for the Fairhope Pirates. They gained 5 yards on the first carry.
Fake the handoff to Cohen, and Leonard just goes down to a knee core. He had a couple more yards. I don't know if the turf monster got him or not. He did look down at the ground for a second there.
No question about it, the turf monster got him. He tried to plant that foot and go north and south with it, and as soon as he did, he had greener grass in front of him. His cleats just didn't hold that grass long enough, and now they're going to come up and be 3rd down and a long 4 yards to go.
Yeah, long for it. On that run, really just picked up 1 yard. Cohen goes into the slot there. And they get the ball out to Dre Matthews. He's close to the 1st down marker. It really will come down, I like to say at the house, if it's a left foot or a right foot spot here, Cora.
Dre Matthews looks like he's going to have enough for the 1st down. That's his 4th reception of the season. Has 2 receiving touchdowns, but that's a nice catch, and we're going to be right at the spot. Looks like it's going to be enough for that Pirate 1st down.
So let me get it out the way. I told the Chain Gang I'd give them a shout out. So the Chain Gang on the move early tonight, moving the sticks for the Fairhope Pirates across midfield already into Baker territory. 1st and 10 at the 48. Play clock under 5 seconds. And there's the call right there, delay a game against Fairhope. I'm surprised they let it go down that far, Corey. Offensive coordinator is the same guy, the head coach, Tim Carter.
Yeah, Tim Carter not happy about that call at all on the far sidelines. He's discussing it with the sideline official over there, but Riley Leonard has to take a look at that play clock in the far end zone, and if it doesn't come in time, go ahead and burn your timeout, because that's something Coach talked about, Coach Carter. He does not want to be behind the sticks down and distance-wise.
So it'll be 1st and 15. Pirates lose 5 on that penalty. Play action, and Leonard gets this one out, trying to connect with Matthews, incomplete, taking the Pirates to 2nd and long.
If you're the Baker Hornets, now that you have the Fairhope Pirates in a 2nd down and long to go, you want to make sure that you don't let anything get behind you. Keep the intermediate routes in front of you. You're based out of this defense, which is a 3-4 defense. Defensive coordinator J.C. Todd, his team giving up 18.2 points per game this season, but so far tonight, they've done a wonderful job here in this first series.
No one in the backfield but Leonard, and he takes off. Good run for him up to the 1st down sticks, and he's continuing to go as he's pushed out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. Big run for Riley Leonard.
Yards after contact, Amarion Foster was finally able to knock him out of bounds, the 5'10", 160-pound senior, but not before Riley Leonard. Shows you why. He has over 192 rushing yards with 3 rushing touchdowns on the season. He's pretty accurate with his arm as well, but he extends the life of this Fairhope Pirate drive.
Al Weeden, Cora LeBounty, Kimberly Dunn here on the call for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. It's Fairhope and Baker. Little quick jet sweep for Dre Matthews, and he hits a wall of Hornets, and they swarm around him to bring him down. It'll look like a loss, Corey, possibly 1 or 2 yard loss, maybe no gain on that play. Yeah.
Good stop by Jaden Blackman and Terry Kirksey. Blackman coming from his middle linebacker position, and Coach talked about his development. He was kind of a quiet player last year,
right,
but has stepped into his senior role at 5'9", 182 pounds in a leadership role. When they break down the huddle, the team is looking for him to break them down, and he showed why on that play. He can be also an impact player for the Hornets.
So no gain there. Be about 2nd and 7. Cohen cuts back against the grain, picks up maybe one, maybe two. It'll be third down for Fairhope as we approach 6 minutes here in the first quarter.
Devin Nobles, 5'9", 171-pound senior, makes the tackle on the play. That's his 27th solo tackle on the season. Also has 3.5 sacks, so that lets you know he likes to shoot the gaps defensively and can chase down a quarterback in the backfield with great quickness.
Empty set here for the Pirates. 3 receivers on the near side, 2 at the top. They get it over to Matthews. He drops it. Is it hauled in?
No, it is
hits the ground, incomplete. And we're going to have our first heat timeout right here at 5:52 in the first quarter. So, Corey, let's take it down to the sidelines and check in with Kimberly Dunn, get her first report tonight here at Clem Richardson Stadium. What's going on, Kimberly?
Hey, guys. I was able to speak with both of these coaches before the game to kind of get what their mindset is and what their strategy is for tonight. And both of these teams said the only way we're going to pull out a win tonight is if we play this game mistake-free. We've already seen a few mistakes from both teams already, but hopefully they are able to kind of overcome those jitters since this is a big region game for both of these teams and one of them pull out a win tonight.
Thank you, Kimberly. We appreciate that. We're going to take a quick break and be back with more action. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
At Mobile County Public Schools, we believe it starts with us. That's why we offer Signature Academies.
Hello, I'm Jordan Clark, and I'm in the Health Service Academy at John L. LaFleur Magnet High School. My future career is to be an obstetrician gynecologist. With this academy, I'm learning firsthand from people already working in the industry. Shadowing them on the job really makes me want to study hard and work harder towards my career goals.
Signature Academies are open to all students in Mobile County Public High Schools. Visit mcpss.com.
Kick is up from Fairhope, and it is no good on the 4th down field goal attempt from Bobby Noel. So Baker will take over, Corey, right here at about their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, it was a good call by Coach Carter. He didn't want to leave any points chasing him, so he attempted the field goal coming out of that heat timeout, just a little bit short for the Pirates. But now you look at where the Baker Hornets are getting ready to take over right here at that 20-yard line area. Now it'll be interesting to see here now what offensive coordinator for the Baker Hornets, Justin Patterson, will come up with here now that he has to drive some 80 yards. Will he go with those intermediate routes or will he go with the swing passes?
Our second look at Baker's offense. DeMarquez Williams coming near the numbers here. A nice big run for him, maybe 8 or 9 yards out the gate. Great run for the Hornets.
Great positive yardage on first down is what you can ask for. Now it makes it so much more manageable for offensive coordinator Justin Patterson to call those plays, and you can just dig in and you can give it to your back. And you want to, again, stay away from those interior linemen, Jerry Bethea and Hagan LeDrew, the big 2 defensive tackles and nose tackle for the Fairhope Pirates. You have that defensive end, Quincy Jackson, who's also a factor for this Pirate defense, but getting a hat on a hat is important for the Hornets.
Hand out to Williams once again. Up the middle he goes, and a flag comes in on the play. And we'll wait to get the call here from the crew. Baker comes into the ball game tonight averaging 25 points on offense. So they can pretty much open it up at times here, trying to get their offense together, as Ron Coleman discussing this with the officials, and we'll get the call here.
They're going to wave it off.
Waving it off, Corey.
It's a good situation if you're a Baker Hornet fan, because now you still stay at a short down and distance situation. Now it's going to bring 3rd down and 2 yards to go. I would stay away again from the interior of this Fairhope Pirate defensive lineman. Everything I think you want to bounce to the outside either by run or by pass.
3 receivers at the top. Summerlin looking to throw. Little screen set up there, and they get that ball out. It's complete, but it hits the turf. That's a live ball. Leo Richards. Official Scooter Collins in there checking it out. And I believe we have our first turnover of the ball game, Corey. Fairhope's coming out excited.
4th down. They're going to call him down
turnover
on the play.
So down by contact. Let's keep this in mind. tonight we will have instant replay tonight here at Baker. They have the equipment, so let's take a look at it ourselves.
Clearly a fumble right there in that situation. It's just stripped away. It'll be interesting to see if Coach Carter decides to challenge that play.
And there is the red flag on the 49-yard line. Coach Tim Carter throws it out. Now, Corey, they have 2 cameras here at Clem Richardson Stadium, one at the 50 right on top of the press box and one in the end zone. Baker has the equipment, so there are 2 views that the officials can get, take a look at for this instant replay.
And it's a situation to where it's our first time on the broadcast. When we came here a couple of years ago for a spring game, it was Baker versus Blunt. And this is when they had the experiment and encouraged Danny Smith, the head coach of the Baker Hornets at the time, along with Lev Holly, to throw as many red flags as they wanted to so the officials could get acclimated to this. Now, it's something that every stadium does not have, but here at Baker High School, they are utilizing it, and we've seen it in a couple of situations through our first 7 weeks of high school football where teams could have benefited if they would have had the replay system and the equipment available. But to me, clearly, our truck showed a great job and had great camera work showing that it was truly a fumble on that play. It looks like it'll be going the other direction with the angles that we had. It'll be 1st and 10 Pirates after this replay.
I believe so. Let's take it down to the sideline and check in with Kimberly Dunn.
Yeah, I'm here with Baker's Principal Peru. How are you doing this evening?
I'm fantastic. How are y'all?
We're doing great. So, what do you think about this instant replay and being able to have this available for your school and for your football team?
Well, I think it's great for our coaches. It gives them another tool. It's great for our officials. It gives them an opportunity to make sure every call is correct because, of course, we want the game to be fair on both sides.
So now tell us a little bit about what your school has to offer as far as signature academies go.
Our signature academy, we're an AP capstone school. Our academics are fantastic. We have 3 national AP scholars. We have 2 national semifinalists for the National Merit Scholars. And one of those individuals, Zach Blair, just made a 36 on the ACT.
That's amazing. So it sounds like you are really preparing these kids for their future.
We are. We're definitely preparing them and giving them the option to go wherever they choose.
All right, and one more thing. Can you tell us a little bit about how you think your school has progressed in your 2nd year now being principal here at Baker?
Well, I think we understand my expectations. We have high expectations. I expect their best every day in everything they do, academics, attendance, and behavior. We're thriving on the athletic fields, and we're thriving in the classroom.
Well, congratulations in all aspects, and we wish you the best of luck tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all being here.
Thank you, Kimberly. Well, Coach Carter rolled the dice on that one, Corey, and came up short again. The instant replay not in his favor. The views that we have are not the views that the officials get to take a look at. Do want to repeat that. They only have 2 views from where they're to make this judgment call.
And I don't know if we're able to bring back our replay again because I would like to see it one more time just to see and verify again. That's an outstanding point you make, Al. Our views that we have are a little bit different. I know in the NFL and college, they do utilize the CBS or whoever's ESPN broadcast cameras so they can see as many angles as possible. But when you only have 2 angles, that could be a critical play in this game, but nonetheless, the Fairhope Pirates, they'll get the football back from the Baker Hornets who had to punt the football. It just won't be in the same type of real estate. They're going to have to earn this field position by marching on down the field from their own 48-yard line.
Empty back set once again for the Pirates, looking as if they're going to air this one out. 3 receivers to the near side, 2 at the top. Fairhope averages 19.5 points on offense, but decide to give it off to Cohen. Cohen picks up about 6 or 7, and the line pushes him maybe for 8, Corey. Let's take a look at that replay. Guys in the truck that pulled it up for us.
Situation to where the wide receiver, you look at Summerlin drop back and throw that pass. He has control of the football, and it's ripped and stripped away. So, again, clearly a fumble. They just don't have that type of angle that we do, but I like the challenge flag coming out nonetheless. And I know Coach Carter, when he comes back and looks at our broadcast, he'll know that it was not a challenge wasted in vain.
You're right. Former coach who doesn't coach anymore, said, Al, the one thing we like about your broadcast, we can see a bunch of angles we don't get to see from the eye in the sky. Good run by Leonard up the middle for a first down.
But an even better job of our crew being able to capture that.
That's true.
And that just goes to show the type of crew that we have here on the MCPSS television network, just making sure that we have all angles of the football game covered. Great guys and great job, guys, and bringing the replay back when we needed it at that point in time as well.
At this point, I'd say Riley Leonard probably leading rusher for the Pirates. He's had a bunch of big games. They give that one off to Cohen. Up the middle, he goes for about a 6 or 7. And the Pirates on the move trying to hit pay dirt, Corey, and get the first points of the ball game.
Well, I mentioned that Riley Leonard has almost 800 yards rushing this season, 5 touchdowns. But his second leading rusher, Kylan Cohen, I said they had to earn their way back into real estate. Well, they're right back where they would have recovered that fumble, and it took them less than 2.5 minutes to do so.
Pirates offense can be potent at times here. They pulled out a big win against Daphne last week, and on the way trying to hit pay dirt is Kylan Cohen, and Corey, he goes in for a touchdown, 24-yard run for Kylan Cohen, and the Pirates on the board.
Outstanding run. The shiftiness of his feet left Jaden Jackson, the defensive back, playing safety position for the Hornets, grabbing for air because, again, the quickness of Cohen's feet, the shiftiness of the direction, took it right back to the Pirates sideline. He's able to put 6 on the board, a huge 24-yard touchdown run for Fairhope.
Bobby Noel for the extra point. High snap goes over Noel's head, but I saw Ron Coleman walking in there even before the play started, Corey. And that will be why. False start against Fairhope. In this situation, I would say that probably helped them out.
It definitely did because of the high snap. Now they'll have an opportunity to see what kind of leg. And during that play, there was an offensive lineman who was down for the Fairhope Pirates.
Can't get a number on him. The trainers, they're kind of blocking the numbers of one of the offensive linemen there down. But very, very beneficial because that snap went over the holder's head and Noel's head, and it could have been disaster for the Pirates. So this is one of those situations where the penalty may actually help them out.
I'm looking around. I'm trying to find Colby Sanford, the left tackle for the Pirates, and at this point in time, I do not see him taking a knee because, like you said, the Fairhope Pirate player is down on their back, getting ready to be helped up. Looks like it's 66.
I think you're right, Corey.
Well,
no, 68.
Okay, Will McLean. That's going to be the left guard for this offensive line of the Fairhope Pirates. And McLean is going to be helped off the field, not really putting a lot of weight on that knee, but it's a situation that, like you said, they caught the break because of the high snap.
Yeah.
And because of it, now they're going to have an opportunity to put it down and try to put 7 points on the board.
Sam Ellis will come in to replace McLean. He's the backup on the depth chart there, number 58, a senior for the Pirates. So they'll push Noel back 5 more yards, and he'll kick this one from the 15. So this will be a 25-yard try for the extra point. And another pre-snap penalty, Corey, has come in. 2 flags down on the turf here.
I mean, you had an outstanding 24-yard touchdown run. You don't want special teams to be the difference maker, especially when you're able to put 6 points on the board. If that's against the Pirates, will cost them another 5 yards and make it even a little tougher. White hat Ron Coleman coming to give us our call.
So offsides against Baker, so Fairhope will get the 5 yards back.
That's one of the things that I know will drive Coach Steve Norman, head coach of the Baker Hornets, crazy because you know where the football is. There's no reason to line off sides. Now, it's one thing to jump. It's another thing to line up off sides.
Yeah, that was alignment. That was clearly lining up in the formation incorrectly. So Noel back to the original extra point, and it is blocked. And in high school football, you cannot advance it. So Corey, Fairhope gets the score, but they don't get the extra point. We'll be back with more action. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
As a student in the Mobile County Public Schools, there are a few things I've come to expect. One is a quality education, and the other is a quality lunch. Not only are our school meals well-balanced, meeting all federal nutritional standards, but they also have less fat, fewer calories, and they taste really good. Oh, and I forgot to mention, our school lunches contain whole wheat, grains, fruits, and vegetables to give me the energy and brain power to get me through the day.
We welcome you back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Fairhope on top, 6-0 over Baker after a 24-yard touchdown run by Kylan Cohen, but the extra point blocked by Terry Kirksey, who moved up to the defensive line tonight, Corey, from his linebacker position, add some more beef and more speed to the line.
He can make a difference in a contest. Baker has to try to find a way to sustain a drive right here offensively and take care of the football.
Freer boots that one into the end zone, so there'll be another touchback for Baker here. Don't forget, October 7th through the 11th, first quarter EQT testing taking place as we look at the school day calendar. So it's taking place this week district-wide, EQT testing, October 7th through 11th. Learning today, leading tomorrow, and wishing all the students in the system a good luck on their EQTs this week, Corey.
Without question, it's just so important that they get the proper rest and are mentally prepared for those EQTs. And it's hard to believe that the first quarter is already coming to a conclusion.
Yeah, and it still feels like summer, by the way.
It does. You can just ask these football players and coaches about that.
Baker back on offense once again, scoreless on their first two attempts. On the end around, the Hornets trying to get some excitement happening on that play, bringing it around for them. Jamari Hawkins picks up maybe 3 or 4 there, Corey. Let's take a look at that replay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a situation to where when you have those jet sweeps, you're trying to bounce the football to the outside, but the wide receivers have to go ahead and maintain their blocks and get the push on the cornerbacks down the field. But the defense did a good job of shedding those blocks and only allowed them to pick up 3 yards on that jet sweep.
Pistol formation here for the Hornets. Low play action, Summerlin rolling out to the strong side and does get that one to complete to big Cade Collier, who stretches out for the first down marker. Let's see if it was enough. Cade Collier, big 6'8" frame, plays basketball for the Hornets as well. Will it be enough to move the chains?
Going to be a couple yards short.
It's going to be, so he must have stepped out of bounds before he stretched out. So it looks like 3rd and about 2 here, 2 yards there, Corey.
But it's obvious who Nick Summerlin is comfortable throwing to at Cade Collier, showing those great hands. Now you have a couple of yards right here. I look for them to bounce to the outside between the right guard and the right tackle in this situation. Again, you want to stay away from the interior of this Fairhope Pirate defense.
Stoppage in play. I believe Baker called timeout. Yes, Steve Norman burns a timeout at 1:11. Talked about it at the top of the telecast. They were going to try to feature Collier in a couple packages tonight, possibly line him up at halfback or tight end, and you can see the size and the dimension. It's kind of a surprise he's bringing against Fairhope tonight.
Well, when you're trying to make up for Ja'Shawn McMillan being injured tonight and not being able to play, the 5'10", 180-pound junior is definitely a dynamic running back and adds dimensions to this Hornet offense. He did not dress tonight. It's coach's decision to go ahead and sit and let him try to get a little bit better for next week's matchup against Bryant. But here's a situation coming out of this timeout. The Hornets have to see execution.
Got to thank our folks over there at Firehouse Subs for giving us the nice subs and taking care of the crew tonight. Save more lives with a portion of subs purchased going to Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. So thanks to Jim and Susie Sherman at the Greenlight Road location. great job in feeding the crew tonight. We always appreciate the love Firehouse Subs gives us here for the telecast. And also Future Ones. Corey, we're wearing our pink tonight. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so thanks to Future Ones for the polos. Future Ones, where you can get team apparel and equipment from baseball to wrestling and all sports in between. Wear the future. Wear Future Ones. And Corey, you're looking pretty spiffy in your pink tonight, man.
Likewise, the crew decked out with our Future One shirts, and you can see them on the sidelines. Again, you can't miss us in our pink polos tonight as Breast Cancer Awareness Month has started.
3rd and 2 here for Baker after the timeout used by Coach Steve Norman kind of get things together. Critical play here as Baker trying to keep the drive going. Across to Cade Collier, and that's a first down as they get stretched out past the 36-yard line.
And what's going to happen is this Fairhope defense is going to have to try to figure out a way and put a shadow on Cade Collier as Nick Summerlin was able to deliver another strike. That's his 3rd reception as he's upended on top of his head, but not before he gets the first down for the Baker Hornets.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Norman during this week, and I said, so this is kind of like adding the Gronk package, if you want to call it. And he said, well, not exactly, but he has the measurables up there. Summerlin threw that ball high. Only Collier could bring it down. Hand off to Williams on the run. Cuts back across the grain and picks up a first down as Baker is nearing the midfield stripe.
And that's just a great play by the Baker Hornets. And where they have success, pulling and running to the perimeter. And the Fairhope Pirates were able to get the stick. And that's a nice stick by T.J. Banks, the 5'11", 160-pound sophomore on the play. But not before the Baker Hornets are knocking close to midfield. This is the furthest they've been down the field here in the first half as we're getting ready to wind up the first quarter. This will probably be the last play of the first quarter.
Play clock under 10, so Baker will have to snap this before the quarter ends. Hand off to Williams. He goes up the middle for 1 or 2, and that will be our last play of the first quarter. So Fairhope on top 6-0. Interesting contest we have so far. We'll be back on the other side with second quarter action. You are watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Don't move.
When it comes to getting your child through school, at times it can be overwhelming.
What school to choose, what classes to take, how to apply for college.
To help answer these questions and more, we would like to invite you to join us on Parent Connect as we take an in-depth look at some of the issues and concerns you may have about your child's education.
So get connected with Parent Connect, weekly right here on the MCPSS TV network.
At Mobile County Public Schools, we believe it starts with us. That's why we offer Signature Academies.
I'm Tracy Tran, and I'm in the Healthcare and Dental Academy at Theodore High School. In the Dental Academy, I'm working alongside dental professionals getting hands-on training from those already working in the industry. Shadowing them on the job makes me want to work even harder because now I know what I want to be.
Signature Academies are open to all students in Mobile County Public High Schools. To find out more, visit mcpss.com.
We welcome you back to Clem Richardson Stadium for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Starting the second quarter, Baker's down 6 points. Ball at the midfield stripe as they try to drive and get into the end zone. All-out blitz headed that way.
Pass complete to Jamari Hawkins.
Hawkins drills in another one, Corey, but I don't believe he picked up a yard. Possibly they're going to spot this at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be third down and about 8.
It is a completion for the Hornets, but again, you're only in a situation now where you're in third down and 8 yards to go. If you're Summerlin, you just want to make sure that you continue to give your team an opportunity to punt the football. You don't want to force anything, and if you do force anything, you don't want it to be a turnover and thrown into a white jersey.
Third and long here for the Hornets. As we're getting our first quarter statistics in from China Powell. Little quick jump pass from Summerlin out to one of the receivers, incomplete, and that'll take Baker to fourth down, Corey.
An opportunity now for the Baker Hornets to flip the field.
The ball's incomplete. That's going to bring up 4th and 8. It'll be a punt situation for the Hornets.
Josh LeBourgeois on to kick for Baker, and we'll take a look at our first half stats after this punt here.
You're looking at the rushing yards. Fairhope has 95 rushing yards to Baker's 31, and now Baker punting away to the Pirates.
That ball close to being blocked. And on the return, Braxton Jordan, he feels it. Gets it up to about the 27-yard line. Go ahead, Corey.
I think the Fairhope Pirates, again, we have them down for 0 passing yards in the first half, but you look at 95 total yards of offense for the Fairhope Pirates. No turnovers by either team. Fairhope 2 penalties for 10 yards, Baker 3 for 25, and the turnovers at 0 apiece, I think that's critical and something to look at. If that replay would have been reversed, the Pirates would have gotten their first turnover, but you're looking at the total yards of offense for Baker, only 57 so far for the Hornets, and now you're looking at the Pirates taking over close to their own 27-yard line.
And we know a lot of those rushing yards came from Riley Leonard. You talked about him coming into the ball game with the yardage that he had. End around for the Pirates, and it's going nowhere. David Sampe is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss, about 5 or 6 yards. It'll be 2nd and long for Fairhope.
Devin Nobles doing an outstanding job from his will linebacker position, staying home, making sure that he brings the runner down to the turf. Now it's a situation to where you're looking at 2nd down and close to 17 yards to go for Fairhope.
We haven't mentioned it yet, but Devin has a twin. Derek Nobles plays fullback for the Hornets as well. So 2nd and long here for Fairhope. Sampe in motion. And Riley trying to connect with one of his receivers in the flat. Dre Matthews could not haul it in as Fairhope goes to 3rd down.
Jaden Jackson doing a good job in coverage. Even if that ball would have been caught, he would have been right on top of it. Now you're in a situation to where you're in 3rd down and long to go. If you allow and hold the Pirates here to only getting half of the yardage needed for a 1st down, you will still put yourself in a situation to where you can receive that punt in your type of territory where you'll have an opportunity to have your deepest field position of the game.
Cohen goes in motion to the slot. Little quick out to Sampe. They try to set that screen up, and that is incomplete. But a flag is on the field on the far side near the 20-yard line.
You talked about that pass being intended for the running back, Sampe. Sampe has 6 receptions for 64 yards on the season. If he would have caught that, it would have been his 7th reception, but it wouldn't have had enough yardage to get him the 1st down. But let's see who it's going to be against.
Got a legal formation against the offense. Decline, 4th down.
So Fairhope will have to punt this one away. The Baker defense holds. And we'll get another look at Bobby Noel coming out to punt here.
Very, very interesting possession here coming up for the Baker Hornets.
You're
looking at the Hornets are 26-1 when allowing 10 points or less since 2000. So far, you're looking at the Pirates only have 6 on the board. If Baker's able to hold them, again, 26-1, that's a pretty impressive record when you hold a team to 10 points or less. This Baker Hornet team, Steve Norman, Stormin' Norman, has been around for a while, and looks like we're going to have timeout on the play. Baker's special teams kind of disorganized.
It did appear that way, and it was a lot of Hornets on the field right there, Corey. Maybe maybe I shouldn't have been in, you shouldn't have been in, but there was some miscommunication going on. So Coach Norman has to burn a timeout. Do not want to get a penalty in this situation.
Well, I'm going to flip the script a little bit on the offensive side of the football for the Baker Hornets. They're 0-73 since 2000 when scoring 10 points or less. 0-73 when scoring 10 or less. They have a goose egg on the board so far here at Clem Richardson Stadium, but they're trying to go ahead and correct that on this drive right here.
Join Homeroom with Renee Phillips and find out the latest homework tips and what's happening inside the schools and classrooms. It's Homeroom with Renee Phillips right here on the MCPSS TV network. And Corey, speaking of networks, shout out to our folks across the bay at Pirate Nation Live. They are taking our feed tonight They have a broadcast channel of their own that they feature at Fairhope High School. So they're taking our feed tonight. So we're going to try to put on a good show for the folks across the bay.
We talked about how important this 7A Region 1 matchup is as the Theodore Bobcats remain undefeated.
That's right.
And they are the defending 7A Region 1 champion. Upending McGill-Tulin last year sets up an epic matchup next week between Theodore and McGill.
Riley Leonard on to punt, also handles the punting duties for the Pirates. Officials getting things together before they start the play clock here. And we get going at 10:30 remaining in the first half.
Biggest thing for Baker right here is Isaiah Dixon getting a good return, putting himself in prime real estate, just has to field this football cleanly.
Nice punt right there from Leonard. And Dixon fair catches at the 48. Let's take a look at both of these coaches here tonight in our coaches comparison. Coach Tim Carter in his 5th season over at Fairhope has a 26-22 record. Overall has a 623 winning percentage. Also coached at Monroe Academy, had a record of 14-20 up there, and a graduate of Monroe Academy and Auburn University. Now Coach Steve Norman, this is his first full season at Baker. He took over in the middle last year on an interim basis. Said if he wasn't a football coach or educator, he'd like to work in the medical field. But Corey, I think he could probably be a pretty good musician, as he entertained us at the Crichton Optimist Club Coaches Fish Fry this year. A low half-back toss pass as Baker tries the trickeration, and that pass incomplete. They could not get it connected with Jamari Hawkins. Leo Richards throws it out there, and Hawkins drops it, Corey. If we can get a look at this replay, he could have hauled that one in. Unfortunate the young man was not able to.
Hawkins, 5'10", 160-pound sophomore. You're not going to get a better trick play and an opportunity to score. Really could have moonwalked that one in had he caught that football. He's just going to have to shake that one off and just know that next time up he can do better for his team. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 situation for the Hornets.
Hand off to Williams, coming to the near side toward us here atop the press box. And he's taken down for a loss of about 2 yards, so that play goes backwards as Cade Collier helps him up there. 3rd and long here for the Baker Hornets, trying to get their offense together. This Pirates defense, Corey, has stepped up tonight and really kind of kept Baker in check so far.
Yeah, it's kind of the momentum there. You were looking to take the wind out of the sails of the Fairhope Pirates on that trick play and weren't able to come away with it, but you don't want to unravel offensively just because one play didn't go your direction. 3rd down and 11 yards to go for the Hornets.
Williams goes into motion. That'll put 4 receivers at the top. Summerlin gets it off, trying to connect with Richards. Throws it to the outside shoulder. Richards kind of gets twisted, incomplete. It'll be 4th down for Baker.
Leonard Richards, the 6', 174-pound senior, just got turned around on that play and could not get it and bring it in totally. I mean, it was a situation where it was a good throw, just Leonard wasn't able to come down with it, and now we're just going to play flip the field and a field playing situation to where Baker and Fairhope both now have traded punts and traded field position. Looks like they're going to put it on the defensive shoulders.
Le Bourgeois puts his foot into that one, and the wind kind of holds it up a bit as Braxton Jordan runs away from it. He wants no parts of that, Corey. So Fairhope, decent field position, ball at the 25-yard line.
Offensive coordinator Tim Carter is going to really rely on Riley Leonard. I think the biggest thing, Al, with 9:14 remaining here in the 2nd quarter, is that the Pirates have the 6-0 lead, and the Baker Hornets are trying to find a way to turn the Pirates over in Pirate territory.
Correct.
If they're able to create some type of turnover, you can try to play flip the field all day long. The score's not 0-0, it's 6-0 in favor of the Pirates.
And especially time of possession has been in favor of Fairhope a lot tonight. The defense has gotten Baker off of the field in 3 and outs many times. Quick handoff there for Cohen up the middle. He goes. Fairhope beat Baker last year 30-25, but both of these teams know this is a critical matchup, and a flag on the play right there in the middle of the field about the 26-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a situation, maybe hands to the face or some type of face mask, because there was nothing but blue jerseys that were attacking the white ball carrier on that play.
Good eye there, Corey. So face mask So Fairhope will benefit. Looks to be incidental, just 5 yards there.
Now again, the Baker Hornets, their interior linemen have done a great job as well, but you want to keep Riley Leonard inside of this pocket. You don't want to allow him to scramble or run any type of waggle or bootleg and throw across his body, because the Pirates do have the explosiveness to catch you. If you're watching Riley instead of your player, the offensive wide receivers can get behind you.
1st and 5 for Fairhope. Cohen picking his spot as he weaves his way up to about the 36-yard line. I believe that will be enough for the first down. Someone has been pretty quiet tonight, Corey, but not someone, but a group. Haven't heard much from the Hornet hooligans tonight.
Yeah, that's something that I guarantee they're just waiting to erupt. They'll make a
Maybe
difference. I guarantee if there's some type of turnover or big-time play, whether it's a run or a pass, I guarantee you'll hear plenty from the Hornet hooligans before the night is over.
That was enough for the first down. Fairhope still on the move. Looking over to the sideline, getting that call from Coach Carter. Handoff once again to Cohen. Bounces off a couple of the Hornet defenders. He gets a decent run out there, maybe 6-7 yards.
Good job by Nobles on the stop as the runner was slowed up by Javaris Jackson, the 6'1", 280-pound junior nose tackle. As he slowed him down, Nobles was able to come up and clean up on the play. I want to piggyback on what you just talked about in regards to the Hornet hooligans. So far, Baker at home this year is 3-0.
That's right.
And they had that big homecoming win over Jackson, the Aggies, 1 week ago.
And off to Cohen once again, up the middle, Corey. He's kind of bruising his way close to another first down.
Second effort by Cohen. One thing he does not do is he does not quit with his legs
Keeps
churning.
the legs moving, y'all notice
and
that.
He goes ahead, and you very rarely see him fall backwards on the end of a run. He's always leaning forward and moving forward, able there to pick up the first down for the Fairhope Pirates.
Javaris Jackson comes out of the ball game, lost his helmet for the Hornets, so they have to put in Huang Guang to fill up that nose guard position right there. 1st and 10 for the Pirates, so Cohen picks up a first down. The Pirates here just moving along methodically up the field, Corey, eating up time on the clock with time of possession tonight.
No hurry, up 6-0. Just need to take care of the football and try to wear this Baker Hornet defense down. But somebody has been so active for the Hornets here in the first half. Again, Devin Nobles is going to get credit on that tackle for the against the Fairhope Pirates. He's in the backfield almost every single play, and you look at him playing sideline to sideline. His ability to come from his will linebacker position is just phenomenal, and he shows why he's a difference maker. 171-pound senior. I like him, Al.
Oh, yeah, he came into the ball game tonight, as I talked about, tied for tackles here for the Hornets. Great player there for them. And Fairhope setting it up with that run. They get a pass complete to Dre Matthews across the field. Big throw from Riley Leonard, and that will definitely have the chain gang on the move. Ball being spotted at the Baker 31-yard line.
You look at the play execution. Is this just a throwback across the field as the wide receiver cuts across the grain, able to pick up yards after contact? And this is the deepest that the Pirates have been. I think we're going to have another, is it a heat timeout coming up in this situation?
Well, it's 6:18, and I believe with that first down, Ron Coleman is going to take advantage of it and go ahead and use the heat timeout. We've seen that happen a couple ball games early this season, so we'll take a break and come back with more action. You are watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose. Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpss.com.
To find out what's happening at Mobile County Public Schools, from school news to weather alerts, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or our website, mcpssthewire.com. Mobile County Public Schools, learning today and leading tomorrow. Leading right now is Fairhope on top 6-0, and going up the middle on the run for the Pirates with a big gain happening up the middle for them on that run. Get a number on him.
That's going to be Glenn Patrick.
Glenn Patrick, big run there, and that moves the stick score close to the red zone here for the Pirates.
Glenn Patrick, the 5'10", 165-pound sophomore
on the sidelines.
Nice cutback run.
I'm sorry, Corey. Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn. She has an injury update for us here on the sideline.
Yes, I was able to check on number 68, that William McLean for the Fairhope Pirates, and he will actually not be coming in for the rest of the game. He sustained a knee injury that had him laying on the ground for quite a while, and so he is undressed and will not be playing for the rest of the game.
Thank you, Kimberly. Sorry to hear about that for the young man, so we'll be without McLean. But right now, Fairhope is with Patrick. He runs it again, Corey, into the red zone, ball being placed at the 8-yard line.
Some shuffling now of the offensive line. Will McLean, the left guard for the Fairhope Pirates, and that's a huge injury, but so far on this drive, the Pirates have acted like they don't miss him, and it's a great offensive opportunity now for the Pirates, knocking on that red zone area to put 6 more on the board.
Patrick still in the ball game. Leonard's going to keep this one. And he ducks and dodges a couple of the Hornets and just prances in for a touchdown, 8-yard run for Riley Leonard as Fairhope extends their lead.
Blackman had him dead to rights in the backfield. Jaden Blackman, that is, the middle linebacker, 5'9", 182-pound senior. If he's able to square up, wrap up, and make that tackle, it goes down as a loss and a sack in the backfield. But as soon as Blackman misses him, Leonard just sidesteps and is able to shed tackles and walk in, as he's also able to break the tackle of Devin Nobles, and that just comes from fatigue. The defense being on the field for too long, and the Pirates were able to bring in a fresh running back, and when they were able to bring in Glenn Patrick, he was a fresh body who had not been in, and you see that deep here in the second quarter. Fatigue kind of hits the Baker Hornets here early in the second, or late in the second quarter.
2 big runs from Patrick there really set up that score that Leonard just had. They're going for 2. Double stack receivers, 1 in motion. Looks like Leonard's going to keep this one, but he does have someone in the end zone and connects. That is good. So the 2-point try is good over to Grant Pfeiffer. So it is now 14-0. Fairhope on top. We'll be back with the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. October is statewide parent visitation month, and the Mobile County Public Schools is hosting home and school partnerships, empowering students to learn. The goal is to better connect home and school. Parents, you are invited to take part on October 21st for statewide parenting day. For more information, contact your child's school.
Al, that drive 7 plays for 49 yards, including the 2-point conversion for the Fairhope Pirates, and that's just what the doctor ordered for offensive coordinator Tim Carter. Having the comfortable 14-0 lead, there's a huge difference between 6-0 and 14-0.
Correct.
Especially with the amount of time that the Baker Hornets defense has spent on the field. It's going to be imperative right here that the Baker Hornets offense don't go 3 and out, and give that defense an opportunity to talk to Coach Todd on the sidelines, the defensive coordinator, regroup themselves, because again, it's a situation to where that trick play that could have led to a touchdown, or at least getting into the red zone area. On this drive right here, you would like to see the Baker Hornets knock on the red zone door of the Fairhope Pirates.
4:59 remaining here in the first half. Critical drive here for the Hornets. You want to get some points, because remember, in the second half, Fairhope will receive the ball. Hand off to Williams, cutting around the edge, going to go back in the middle, and met by a few Pirates there. It'll take Baker to second down.
You know, when you're in a situation, if you're the Baker Hornets, you know what you wanted. You know what your game plan was coming into this game. At 0-0, your game plan is wide open. But when you go down 14-0, it totally gets changed. Your offensive play calling changes as well as your defensive play calling because your defense has been on the field for so long.
Trip receivers at the top, but they hand it off once again to Williams. Up the middle he goes for about 6 or 7 yards. He's going to be short maybe by 2. Let's see what it is. It'll be third and maybe a long third and, I'll call it 3rd and 3, Corey, but top the press box here.
Jacob Denoyan has 13 solo tackles on the season, 1 tackle for loss, was able to bring the ball carrier down, and like you said, it is going to be a long 2 yards, but let's see here if the Baker Hornets decide to bounce it outside of the perimeter on some type of sweep play or play to the outside of the tackle.
Pitch it out to Williams, and he comes up short. No gain on the play. If it was, maybe about a half of a yard. It'll take Baker to 4th down. Don't forget at halftime, we're going to have the Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge coming up. Kimberly Dunn will go into the stands and get a spectator, ask them a question, and hopefully they'll get that question correct with the Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge. She always has something nice in store, and there's the Cow doing its thing there, Corey.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, 4th down and 1 to go. Coach Norman had an opportunity to kind of play with it, decide whether he wanted to go with it. But
correct.
I think this is a safe decision. Just try to flip the field right here and make the Pirates earn anything that they get here late in the second quarter.
Le Bourgeois punts it off. Once again, Braxton Jordan stays away from it. This ball going backwards. Had too much of a lob wedge spin on that one. Want that to go forward and not backwards. So Fairhope almost at the midfield stripe, the ball on their own 49-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, the Fairhope Pirates now take over offensively, and the worst thing that can happen for the Baker Hornets right here is they allow the Pirates to get some type of long drive going.
Correct.
Meaning you've been on the field entirely too long. I know you'll have a 20-minute rest period at halftime to try to regroup and catch your breath, but if the Pirates are able to strike quickly, it's almost in the favor of the Pirates for them to be able to do so because, again, the defense, the time of possession has totally favored the Pirates here in the second quarter.
Notice that Cohen's back on the field right now. Got a little break with Patrick coming in doing some running on that previous series. They go back to Cohen once again. I think Coach Carter's going to play it safe and need some clock here, Corey. He's up 14 points. No need in showing your hand and trying to get greedy here.
Yeah, I think that's a great call by Coach Carter. Again, you have that 14-0 cushion.
Right.
You're right here at midfield. No need to turn the ball over. Just be comfortable with the running ability of Cohen, and also you have your quarterback Riley Leonard, who is very capable of running the football as well. But right now you don't want to step out of bounds if you're the Fairhope Pirates. Anything that you can do to stay within the chalk, that's what you want to do.
Keep that clock moving and keeping those legs moving, as you talked about early in the ball game. Kylan Cohen, brother of Devin Mitchell, who graduated from Fairhope last year, and Cohen with a nice run, Corey, picks up a 1st down, ball at the 40-yard line of Baker.
Yeah, you're starting to see the fatigue of this Baker Hornet defense. Jamarcus McCall is really sucking wind right now from his outside linebacker position. It'll be interesting to see if the Pirates go right at him again.
Patrick back in the ball game, and look at Patrick go, tripped up by one of the Hornets for about a 5 or 6 yard run.
And that's something that you're starting to see now. The Pirates starting to get into that second level of this Baker Hornet defense, as you're starting to see numerous missed tackles, as on that play you had Donovan Scott, also Jamarcus McCall missing tackles, bringing up 2nd down and short for the Fairhope Pirates.
Fairhope kind of measuring themselves, going tempo but not too fast. Hand off to Patrick. He fumbles it. That's a live ball, but he jumps back on top of it, Corey. So the magic bean pops out, but Patrick gathers himself back and gets it. But one of the Hornets has picked it back up. So I wonder if the whistle ever happened.
And the officials are saying that it did. I'm looking at one official right now walk back to the 44, 45-yard line.
Head official Ron Coleman is down at the 5-yard line saying 1st down, Baker. And pointing toward the end zone, of course. So if we can get a replay on this one, wow.
It was definitely fumbled on the play, and it's a situation to Patrick. He never had it, and it was a scoop-up situation for the Baker Hornets as we're able to take a look at that replay. But again, the pigskin was on the field for a very long time, and I'm not quite sure if Fairhope was able, and again, I didn't hear a whistle until
I don't recall hearing a whistle.
Made his signal, and that's what was critical. And the officials are now huddling up and talking about it. And it's a situation to where, again, we're not quite sure. We know we didn't hear the officials whistle, but because of it, nonetheless, now that is the big break that you mentioned. Would we hear from the Hornet hooligans? Yes, we will.
We did.
And if a challenge flag comes out again, I'm not quite sure. I know they just want
Corey,
to talk
it's
to Coach
out there
Carter.
because if you look at the 46-yard line, the red flag is out. If anything, Coach Carter wants a pretty good explanation on this one.
And he'll definitely get his money's worth. I don't know if we can zoom in to that red flag and show the viewers what we're talking about. Some viewers have never seen the red flag on the field. They've just seen the yellow flag, and that flag is going to be right at the 46-yard line.
Here it is.
It's a situation to where it is down. Cohen gets knocked down. He never has
You're
it.
right. You're right.
It is a true
That's a live
fumble.
ball. That's a live ball.
And everyone just stopped, but they didn't hear a whistle, and because of it, Baker played through that. But let's take a look at that red flag on the field that head coach Tim Carter has thrown right around the 46-yard line. Again, we had one challenge earlier. Now the official goes and picks that red flag up at the 46-yard line. It's not a regular flag that is thrown. It is red in color, similar to the yellow flags, but it is solid red. The officials talked about it. You look here at the end of this play, Al, as the ball's just skirmishing around, and you would think that he was down on two knees, Patrick Glenn that was, or Glenn Patrick rather. He was not down on two knees. The ball was still rolling and bouncing around.
And Corey, Davo Lee was right there about to pick it up, and he never did. And if you think about it, no one touched him. So I believe that would be a live ball, Corey, if they have that angle. If they have that angle, because they get two views. They have two cameras here set up at Clem Richardson Stadium to take a look at this.
The biggest thing, the ruling on the field, is Ron Coleman started running with it.
Well, he did call it a fumble.
Favor of, and he is the white hat, so he had the best angle in that situation as he's taking a look at it now. And again, great job by our camera guys being able to pick up the fact that at the end of that play, even the Baker Hornet who picked up the fumble stopped and froze on the play, and after he froze, he did not hear a whistle.
He did not.
So he was encouraged by his teammates and his coaches
at
to
the
continue to
5-yard
run.
line. But he was encouraged to keep going. So as we said earlier, after that first instant replay that Coach Tim Carter threw out there are two cameras here at the stadium, one at the 50-yard line, one at the end zone, and the officials have two views to take a look at this and review it. Corey, if I recall last year when we had our ball game with Baker and Theodore, that was the first time we ever had an instant replay happen on the MCPSS high school football game of the week. Here's the call here from Ron Coleman.
Play stand, first down Baker.
So the turnover does stand, the fumble recovered. Huge, huge play. 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining in the contest. So under review, that was the second one that has gone against Fairhope for tonight.
But if you're the Baker Hornets, now you're looking at the time remaining, 1:04. Now you're in the red zone area. You don't want to run into the teeth of this Fairhope Pirate defense. You want to bounce it to the outside, and you also don't want to turn the football right back over to them. So a little wildcat. Summerlin is not in on this play as
That's
the
Leo
Hornets have
Richards.
gone to Leo Richards.
Here's one of those special packages, man in motion. Richards takes the snap up the middle, and the Pirates gang up on him to bring him down, and the clock continues to run. Coach Norman, I believe, has one timeout remaining.
You got to call it right here because you
gotta
don't want any more time to run any laps off of the clock, and that's exactly what they were able to do by calling that timeout. And because of it, now you have an opportunity to regroup offensively. And, you know, with the breeze picking up, the breeze is at the back of the Baker Hornets in this situation. So if they're able to churn and grind this out, offensive coordinator Justin Patterson is going to dig deep into his playbook with 49.2 seconds remaining, knocking right here on the door of the 4-yard line now. But what you're trying to do, more importantly, is you're trying to script the next couple of plays.
That's true.
Clock management is so very critical in this situation. You don't want to get all the way down into this red zone area and not be able to put points on the board,
Correct.
whether it be a field goal attempt or an opportunity to score the touchdown. If you're the Hornet Hooligans, you're definitely cheering on your team to put 6 on the board, and it would be Uncle Mo showing up right here before halftime.
You're right about that.
Here at Clem Richardson Stadium.
Now, I don't see any timeouts on the scoreboard there for either team, Corey. It looks as if that part of the clock is not functioning, but if I'm correct, I believe that was Baker's 3rd timeout in the first half. I believe it was.
And it's just a situation to where you know the challenges that have come out by Fairhope.
Correct.
You know they've wasted their timeouts via challenge.
They've thrown 2 of them, right.
But here Summerlin comes back into the lineup, and it's going to be imperative that the Baker Hornets right here come away with some type of points and manage this clock efficiently.
Summerlin rolling out, trying to connect with someone. He needs to get rid of it and just floats it in the middle, and you don't want to do that, and he did it, and that is an interception in the end zone, touchback as the Pirates haul it in, threw it against his body, and coming down with that interception, Grayson Hooks, leading tackler for the Pirates, hauls it in. Corey, look at a replay here.
Turned away. You kind of throw across your body in that situation, and that's one of the things that you did not want to happen if you're the Baker Hornet faithful. The Pirates find a way to avoid disaster. Uncle Mo turns and knocks at the door but decides to walk away if you're the Baker Hornets, and now the Fairhope Pirates will probably just take a knee here and be happy to go up 14-0 at halftime.
Yeah, Fairhope pretty much going to take the knee right there, and they won't have to snap it again. And they'll just let the game clock run out here. From what it looks like, Corey, I believe 22 seconds remaining on the game clock, and about, they haven't even started the play clock yet because we're getting a breeze here on top of the press box. Quite a relief, but blowing out papers everywhere here.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it's a situation now to where now going into halftime, 14-0 our score. It's going to be interesting to see the type of adjustments that will be made by the Baker Hornets, especially when they had an opportunity there in the red zone, weren't able to capitalize.
They did.
You look at the situation in the second half, who will be receiving the kickoff. That's going to be huge.
Yep, that's huge.
Because if you're Baker, you were able to create a turnover. Now you want to try to create another one coming out of the second half. Only down 14-0. No need to panic if you are the Hornets and the Hornet faithful. You just have to make sure that you find a way offensively to clean things up a little bit. And that opportunity right there, you don't want it to come back to bite you or haunt you at the end of the game.
Yeah, you're right about that. Summerlin throws the interception, and Grayson Hooks hauls it in and uses his pirate hook to haul that one in to kind of save some scoring put up by Baker. So Fairhope comes out 14-0 right now. Let's take it down to the sidelines and check in with Kimberly Dunn.
Coach Carter, how do you feel about your team's performance so far tonight?
You know, I thought it was a pretty good first half. Our defense did a good job, didn't give up anything big. They missed an opportunity on the long ball that we got to do a better job of. But thought we moved the ball well. I wish we had a few more points, but still too close, and Baker's playing really hard, but our kids have done pretty well.
Yeah, so what are y'all going to do coming into this next half to get the win tonight?
Beat them by one. One more than they got. Any way we can do it. So, you know, I don't know. We've been having to mix it up on offense. We're throwing and running, and we've had a pretty good effort out of our offensive line. They'll have to continue.
Thank you so much, Coach. I'll let you get with your team.
Thank you, Kimberly. We appreciate that. Boy, it's a blustery night tonight here at Clem Richardson Stadium. We'll be back with halftime action. Fairhope on top, 14-0. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Hello, I'm Renee Phillips, your host of Homeroom. Will you join us as we talk with the students, teachers, and staff about all of the great things happening in our schools?
That's right, Renee. Not only are we here to keep you informed about the great things happening in our schools, but to also keep you updated on safety issues.
Our show, Safe Schools, looks at ways to keep your child and our students safe.
Not only are we looking at ways to keep your child and our students safe, but to keep you informed on how to connect with us.
Manténgase informado aquí en Conexión a Padres.
And we also score big from pre-K to high school with MCPSS Athletics.
And then Inside Education puts it all together for you, showing you the ins and outs about news and events taking place across the Mobile County Public School District. We do this to keep you informed.
A trunk or treat event is coming to Langham Park, hosted by the Mobile Police Department and Mobile Fire Rescue, Saturday, October the 19th from 4 to 8 p.m. It's a free, fun, and safe Halloween event for the entire family. Spooky fun throughout the park, police vehicles and fire trucks on display, costume contests for prizes, and lots of candy for trick-or-treaters. Join us October the 19th, 4 to 8 p.m. at Langham Park.
Hi, I'm Todd.
And I'm Terry, and we'd like to invite you to join us as we take a look at nature in ways that you've never seen before.
Come travel with us as we go coast to coast to uncover some of the most interesting animals
and some of the most beautiful scenery that's offered outdoors.
You can join us on our nature adventures right here on the MCPSS TV network.
Welcome back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Let's take it down to the field and enjoy some of the sounds of the Fairhope Marching Pirate Band.
He ignored me. He looked at me. He's like, oh, man.
It is halftime here at the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. And atop the press box, we're going to be interviewing Renee Phillips with the Mobile County Public School System. Renee, we had a gust of wind just came through, and you put on your hurricane hat and helped the folks next door because their tent was just thrown apart.
Yes, we did. The tent over there was about to go into the audience, so we were literally holding it down. But it had just picked up in the last minute or so, or I guess 5 minutes. But it's
we're gonna try to maintain because our tent is holding itself together as best it can. What's going on with the school system right now? Blue Ribbon School, Signature Academy, so much happening. What's happening right now with Mobile County Public Schools you can tell us about?
Okay, so there's a lot of excitement right now in Mobile County Public Schools. This is the second year for Cressel Threadgill to be superintendent, and you can just feel the excitement with his tenure and him taking over.
Right.
We just made national news. We have a National Blue Ribbon School. It's our 14th in Mobile County.
Okay.
So we have more National Blue Ribbon schools than any other district in Alabama.
Wow.
And what a National Blue Ribbon is, it is the highest award given to public and private schools, and it went to Eichhold Mertz School of Math and Science and Technology, which is a phenomenal school.
I was by that way the other day. See, on Government Boulevard near Pleasant Valley?
Right.
Right. By that way the other day. Okay, good. So congratulations congratulations to them.
Okay.
As far as Blue Ribbon schools, you say 14 we have here. What does it take? What kind of qualifications? What do they look for to make a school a Blue Ribbon school?
So these are the top-notch academic schools in the country, and so they look at the student achievement, student growth, that sort of thing. At Eichhold-Merz, they have labs. They go into the, they have an outdoor classroom. They're raising chickens. They have fruits and vegetables, and it's just they really do hands-on, and the kids are learning so much through that.
And speaking of learning and academics, Signature Academies, that's the big thing we have here in the Mobile County Public School System. Give us an idea about the Signature Academies and kind of what's taking place.
Okay, so in Mobile County, we have 12 Signature Academy high schools, and they are, students are getting hands-on learning, and they're in career fields that are readily available in Mobile County. Anything from aviation and aerospace to coastal studies to engineering to healthcare, we've got it. And anyone who's going to be in 9th grade next year can apply by December 31st on MCPSS.com for any of our Signature Academies.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you stopping by, Renee. And I know the big thing right now is learning today and leading tomorrow. And that's what we're going to go to right now with this video here for the Mobile County Public School System.
Why Mobile County Public Schools? We can tell you a multitude of reasons, but we'd rather show you. We're producing college and career-ready graduates equipped to compete and excel in a global economy.
We're doing it by providing rigorous, relevant instruction that challenges students to not only learn facts and equations, but to think critically and globally. We're doing it by providing multiple pathways to college and career readiness, such as our 12 Signature Academies that focus on specific career fields in demand in the Mobile area.
We're doing it by hiring and supporting quality teachers, administrators, and support personnel, and providing them with the tools to succeed, both in terms of technology and professional development.
With 88 schools and about 54,000 students, more than 7,200 employees, we are Alabama's largest public school system.
We have 13 national Blue Ribbon schools, 7 magnet schools, 4 schools with IB designations, a year-round school at Bondi Elementary, and more than 60 classrooms that offer Alabama's award-winning first-class pre-K program.
We're giving our elementary students a solid foundation through robotics and other STEM programs, project-based learning, makerspace collaboration labs, the PACE program for gifted students, and numerous other initiatives. Several of our elementary schools are demonstration sites for Talents Unlimited.
Innovative high school programs such as University of Alabama Early College at Murphy, the Cambridge program at Alma Bryant, and the AP Capstone at Baker give our students a head start towards college, along with a variety of advanced placement and dual enrollment opportunities at our high schools.
Our students earn more than 15,000 career credentials and were offered $159 million in scholarships in 2019. We have raised our graduation rate to 86%.
But we're determined to do more. We get up every day ready to give 110% to ensure that we're producing well-rounded students and graduates who are ready to meet the challenges of the 21st century. And we're going to do just that.
In Mobile County Public Schools, we are learning today, leading tomorrow.
We are back here at the halftime, and let's get ready for the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. Check in with Kimberly Dunn.
All right, we are here with our Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge, and I have got another lucky participant here tonight. Her name is Kylie Gordon. How are you doing tonight?
Good.
So you're in the 6th grade at Causey Middle School?
Yes.
Awesome. So you have a special shirt on here tonight because you did something on the field with Baker's dance team. Can you talk a little bit about it? What'd you do?
We did a dance and we performed it, and then when the high school dancers were performing in front of us, we had to clap along with them.
Oh, wonderful. So do you want to be a dancer when you get in high school?
Probably.
That would be really cool. Are you ready for the question? All right. So what is the oldest city in the state of Alabama? Is it A, Red Level, B, Montgomery, C, Mobile, or D, Birmingham? What do you think?
I think B, Montgomery.
B, Montgomery? It's close, but it's not quite it. You want to give it another try? Okay. D. Birmingham? Not Birmingham. I'll give you one more chance. Are you ready? Okay. C. Mobile. Yes, C. Mobile. You got it. All right, you win our awesome Chick-fil-A prize pack. And a fun fact about Mobile, if you want to try out for Azalea Trail, it was founded in 1702 by some French brothers. So it has been around for a really long time. You didn't think it was around that long. Well, congratulations on winning our Chick-fil-A prize pack, and I wish you the best of luck.
Marching band under the field direction of Isabel Ferguson, Carl Whiting, and Macy Higgins.
Thank you, Kimberly. We appreciate that. Let's take it down to the field and check in with the Baker High School Marching Hornet Band.
Drum majors, Isabel Ferguson, Carl Whiting, and Macy Higgins. Is your band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the crowd of Baker High School Marching Band.
That was the Baker High School Marching Band. And we're going to get you up some first half stats here. Big storm system coming through the area, Corey, and it has kind of wreaked havoc for us here top of the press box here at Clem Richardson Stadium. We're going to try to get some first half stats up for you as well if we can. We've had a lot of equipment issues and things, but we're still on the air, but hadn't felt the raindrops come down, but I have felt some drizzle there. So let's take a look at the first half stats there, Corey. We have them up here.
I mean, it's a situation to where you look at the rushing yards of the Fairhope Pirates, 160 rushing yards, only 20 passing yards for 180 total. 1 turnover for the Pirates, 3 penalties for 15 yards. I think the difference is the ability for the Pirates to go ahead and extend drives in this situation. Baker only has 40 rushing yards, 26 passing yards, only 66 total yards of offense. And again, knocking on that red zone opportunity, their 1 turnover came in the end zone as they could have put 6 on the board, 4 penalties for 30 yards, but Fairhope nonetheless leads 14-0. The band, it was the calm before the storm.
Wow, unbelievable.
Because I promise you, here at the top of Clem Richards Stadium on top of this press box, the winds have been blowing close to 30 miles per hour. I know that you can hear it in our microphone, but it's a situation to where we're just narrowly avoiding the thunderstorms. The sprinkles have started to come down here. We'll see if it's a difference maker here in the second half of this game, because if the field starts to get wet or the lightning rolls into the area, there's already been a couple delays in the system so far with some high school football going on. So anytime lightning is seen in the air, that's an automatic 30-minute warning or a delay in the game. Here we are at 14-0, so it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens. Is our white hat Ron Coleman is coming over to talk to the principal of Baker High School about what to do due to the inclement weather, and it's going to be a situation to where, again, we hope it just narrowly escapes this area of West Mobile out here at Baker High School. We'll take a couple of sprinkles, as some people are on the radar that we saw are dealing with the orange and red, meaning it's continuing to pour down rain. But again, 14-0, the difference in this game. If you're a Fairhope Pirate fan, you're already saying, because you're in a situation
this
where
is their conditions, because the rain has started here atop the stadium, Corey, and we had reports that there was rain over in 8 Mile at Pritchard for the Blunt and Bryant game that was going on, but it hadn't quite made it here. But just some slight drizzles coming in kind of sideways right now. As you can see, Ron Coleman talking with athletic director Sean Smith. They put the 3 minutes on the game clock that they allow after halftime to let the teams get warmed up. So right now, we haven't received word of a stoppage or anything. And the first half recap, 24-yard touchdown by Kylan Cohen got Fairhope on the board, but the extra point was blocked. And then Riley Leonard came back later with an 8-yard touchdown score, and they went for 2, and they got that, Corey. And then we had our first turnover of the ball game from Fairhope on a scoop fumble that was contested on instant replay for Coach Tim Carter, but he lost the replay. Our cameras, you could kind of see where the fumble was there. And then Baker, of course, as you just talked about, had an opportunity to score, but threw an interception as Grayson Hooks pulled it in. So we'll take a break and come back with second half action if we don't get a stoppage in play. It's the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Hello, I'm Renee Phillips, your host of Homeroom. Will you join us as we talk with the students, teachers, and staff about all of the great things happening in our schools?
That's right, Renee. Not only are we here to keep you informed about the great things happening in our schools, but to also keep you updated on safety issues.
Our show, Safe Schools, looks at ways to keep your child and our students safe.
Not only are we looking at ways to keep your child and our students safe, but to keep you informed on how to connect with us.
Manténgase informado aquí en Conexión a Padres.
And we also score big from pre-K to high school with MCPSS athletics.
And then Inside Education puts it all together for you, showing you the ins and outs about news and events taking place across the Mobile County Public School District. We do this to keep you informed.
I believe my child's school is probably one of the best ones I could have picked in Mobile. She's in the PACE program. The teachers are phenomenal. The principal couldn't ask for a better principal. The research that I had done myself, I believe the quality of education in Mobile County Public School System is excellent. For me and my child, I'm going to stick with the public school system. I think it's the way to go.
Welcome back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. We're almost ready for second half kickoff. Let's take it down to the field and check in with Kimberly Dunn.
All right, I was able to speak with the coach before we are entering the second half, and he said that the atmosphere in the locker room was very positive. The coaches didn't even have to say a word. The team was encouraging each other, and they were motivating each other to get back into this ball game and to put some points on the board for their team. And then as far as the weather goes, I was able to speak with the ref, and he said as long as we don't have any close lightning or just like torrential downpour, then we will not see any delays or cancellations of this football game.
All right, thank you, Kimberly. We appreciate that as we get the kickoff taken by one of the Fairhope up guys, Tucker Klein. And we are underway here in the third quarter, Corey. We won't have any video of us here atop the press box anymore. We had to take our lights and our camera down based on safety because we saw some lightning bouncing around somewhere, so we took the precautionary route. So our friends at Power Nation Live TV will just be audio only. We'll have Kim on the visuals on the sideline for the rest of the game.
Yeah, great job by our crew coming to the rescue and everybody putting all hands on deck in that situation, making sure that everything was safe and secure from our equipment standpoint.
So 1st and 10 for the Pirates here, ball at their own 21-yard line. I believe we have a pre-snap penalty, Corey. Flags out on the field right now.
Yeah, it's a situation to where if you're the Fairhope Pirates, you want to have momentum. You don't want to go backwards. And again, Baker is hoping that they'll continue to go backwards because it'll put them in prime real estate. And again, they were knocking on the 10-yard line of the Fairhope Pirates and weren't able to punch it in. But if you're able to continue to hold on right here at 1st down and 15 yards to go, the Hornet Hooligans are going to get real loud, and the ones that are still around are getting the crowd pumped up.
And you're right, that crowd has definitely diminished with a slight storm and breeze and wind coming through as Cohen is brought down for a loss. Looks like Devin Noble's on that tackle, Corey.
Very active again. That 20-minute rest that the defense had was so very important for the Baker Hornets because the time of possession, again, favored the Fairhope Pirates tremendously. And because of it, that Baker defense got a little weary. You saw them start to try to tackle and a lot of arm tackles instead of bringing the ball carrier to the ground. Now you're looking at a situation 2nd down and close to 17 yards to go for the Pirates.
Long down here for Fairhope. Riley Leonard on the quarterback keeper. That's designed. And he's going to get some yards up to about the 21, 22-yard line, close to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and about 9.
Great stop by the Baker Hornets. And I'll tell you what, on my roster blew away as long as my 2-deep board during that halftime, it blew into the stands. So as I continue to try to search for names, you'll just have to bear with me because of it, Al.
Yeah, you're right. So thanks to our buddy Derek with the crew, went down and hauled those in for us. But stands have definitely cleared out here on the Baker home side and even on the Fairhope visiting side as well. Little quick toss to Cohen, and he has plenty of room and plenty of real estate. He goes out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. That's enough for a 1st down, and the chain gain is on the move.
You go from 3rd down and long to picking up the 1st down off a little swing dump pass to your dynamic running back out of the backfield. And if you're the Hornets, that's the type of stop that you wanted to have. But now you have an opportunity again not to let the Fairhope Pirates cross midfield because that's the type of momentum that you talked about going into half, trying to go ahead and get this 3 and out or get some type of stop to where Fairhope doesn't have any momentum.
Cohen with the run once again for a couple of yards. Both of these teams coming to the contest tonight on 2-game winning streaks. Fairhope has wins over Davidson and that last-minute thriller over Daphne last week. And Baker won against Foley and last week secured a homecoming win against a powerful 5A Jackson Aggies who came to town. So both of these teams want to pick up this win tonight. It is crucial because it is a region game as well. We know last night Theodore beat Murphy, so that was a huge one as Theodore remains undefeated and a top 7A Region 1 here in the area. possibly no gain on that run for Cohen. It'll be 3rd and 5, Corey.
Jaden Blackman, the middle linebacker, on a nice stop for the Baker Hornets, and that's the type of stop, again, a second, third down possession on this drive for the Fairhope Pirates.
Right.
The Hornets have to have some type of stop to allow their offense to get back on the field. They're on the sidelines recouping and getting their strategy together. The defense just wants to get off of the field.
Double stack receivers here for Fairhope. Cohen goes into the slot. Leonard keeps it up the middle. He goes, had some room. He slid, Corey, but are they going to mark him where his knee went down? Right. If they mark him where his knee went first touched the ground, he's going to be short by about a yard or maybe a half yard here.
I think he's going to be short because he decided to slide.
Yep.
He didn't go head
He's close.
first.
Yeah.
He slid like a baseball player would into second base. And in that situation, the football wasn't the first to go. 4th down and inches now for the Fairhope Pirates in their own territory. If you're Tim Carter, I think you want to punt this football and try to flip the field.
Don't forget, Riley Leonard is the punter for the Pirates. Going back to receive for Baker, Isaiah Dixon.
Maybe a play clock or if a timeout.
Timeout has been called by Fairhope at 8:30 here in the 3rd quarter. So interesting situation here. That close, you want to call a timeout, maybe discuss things, Corey. Take a look at some scores last week involving Mobile County Public Schools. We had the MGM Citronelle game. MGM picked up that victory. Talked about Baker winning last week. It was homecoming for them, 14-6 over Jackson. Viger was over Murphy. That's the old Mayor's Cup there, as Viger got that win, and Murphy then lost last night to Theodore. Sarah Lane was all over the floor, and as you can see, Williamson picked up a win, 12-0 over Rain, and Bryant fell to Eufaula 55-21. So scores last week involving Mobile County Public Schools.
Here's some scores also from around the Gulf Coast area. Andalusia leading Williamson 14-0. Faith Academy leading Wilcox 31-0. St. Paul's leading Spanish Fort 28-10. Leroy over Chickasaw 27-7.
So after the timeout here, Fairhope does line up to punt. Just 4th and inches for them. I would not be surprised if they run a trick play of some sort here. Low snap, hits the ground, but Leonard's going to get it off and shanks it off his right foot, and that was going toward the sideline, so not near any Baker players at all, but a flag comes out, Corey.
And you hope it's not roughing or running to the kicker in that situation, which would be critical. Yeah, it's going to be running into the kicker of 5 yards.
Appears to be the call, and that's enough for the first down with 5 yards. If it was just 4th and inches. So critical mental mistake for the Hornets there.
One of the finals.
First down.
Yeah, it's an obvious penalty right there. One of the finals that I see in the area already. Blunt 6-0 over Alma Bryant, and Centronelle leading Satsuma 14-7 also.
Did you say final, Corey?
Final.
I wonder if that was called maybe because of weather or some type, because we did get reports that there was some rough weather going on in Pritchett early up in 8 Mile area. So 1st and 10 after the penalty, ball sitting at the 49-yard line of Fairhope. Still in possession after that mistake from Baker. Riley play action, looking to go deep. Can't find anyone, so he's going to escape the pocket. It kind of does that little stutter step, Corey, but to me, I think he kind of loses a couple yards as he does that rather than just running it on out.
Yeah, it's a situation to where you know they wanted to keep Riley Leonard inside of the pocket and weren't able to do so, as he's able to break containment, and because of it, he's able to pick up a lot of yardage now, bringing up, 2nd down and maybe 1 yard to go?
Maybe a long one here, so Leonard with that 9-yard carry. Hands it off to Cohen, and the Hornets swarm to him, and that's going to be a loss, but a late flag comes in at about the 40-yard line.
And with that late flag, it was thrown right around the line of scrimmage, so that's normally in the area of holding, and we'll see what Ron Coleman in the white hat decides to go ahead and mark off. Looks like it is going to be against the Pirates.
As he talks to Javaris Jackson, defensive captain there, and pointed to Fairhope, so this one will be coming back.
Holding. Offense. Replay second down.
So we'll get a replay on second down. Our clock camera has been disassembled as well, so it's 8:02 remaining here in the third quarter. Clem Richardson Stadium, Al Whedon, Corey LeBounty. Down on the sidelines, Kimberly Dunn. And Corey, just off to the right of you, our chief engineer, Fran Conaway on the call, helping us out, kind of securing things here up in the atop the press box for us, man.
Does a wonderful job each and every week.
Oh, yeah.
All hands on deck. Fran the man is what we call him.
We definitely needed
here.
Fran at halftime. it was chaotic.
It was frantic at
Yes,
halftime.
it was. Yes, it was. Second and long, and we have a stoppage in play. And if I'm correct, Corey, that is another timeout for Fairhope. So Coach Tim Carter has burned 2 timeouts in less than 5 minutes here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, that's a situation.
I think he wants to have a discussion right now.
Yeah, he wants to talk about it. He said he can't go back across the water with those timeouts, so why not get yourself organized, because you're in a situation to where it's going to bring up second down and close to 17 yards to go.
So while we have a break, we'll take a look at the state polls right here. Put up the Class 4A Alabama Sports Right. I'm sorry, the region standing here. I'm sorry about that. Region standings in the area. As you can see atop right there, UMS Wright. They are undefeated and still a top 4A Region 1. Williamson right there, you talked about them being down to Andalusia playing a region game, so that's a huge one. As you can see, 3 teams tied at 2-1. Flip it over to 5A Region 1 if you have a chance to get that one up here before the next play. Jackson on top of that region. They took a loss to a Baker last week. Faith Academy and Viger sitting right there. And Citronelle, I believe, playing Satsuma tonight as well. And LaFleur 0-2 with Wilcox Central 0-3 in the region. So there's Region 5A Region 1. Riley on the keeper, Riley Leonard, cutting it outside. Big gain. Corey, he is running this ball confidently tonight for the Pirates, close to another first down.
Yeah, it's a situation, again, you must contain Riley Leonard within that pocket. If you're not able to do so, he's going to be able to move the sticks for the Fairhope Pirates. And, again, the Pirates here with 7:25 remaining in the third quarter have a nice drive coming out as he picks up the first down.
So that is enough. Riley Leonard making a case for an early possible Career Tech Education Player of the Game. 1st and 10 here. Ball at the 41-yard line of Baker. Handed off to Cohen as he's met by the Hornets for a nice 4 or 5 yard gain, taking Fairhope to second down.
Yeah, I mean, we were really blessed to miss this rain because Cottage Hill had to cancel their homecoming. It's the second cancellation tonight, and like you mentioned, I'm trying to find out about that Blunt game.
Gotcha.
With the 6-0 final already being this early in the evening. I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if Lightning in that area, in the Pritchard area, canceled that game as well.
Leonard fakes the handoff, keeps it. And the Hornets drive him back for a loss as it takes Fairhope to 3rd and long here. Ball just inside the 40-yard line of Baker.
Again, a delay in the Davidson game and MGM game as well. The coaches are talking about 10 minutes remaining in that game, and it's a situation that weather has wreaked havoc all across the Mobile County area.
Yes, it has. Just under 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. I will say this, Corey, I did appreciate the breeze slightly there. Kind of brought the temperatures down, but not at the rate it was going, and a flag in on the play. So we've started off the third quarter here with a few infractions against both the teams.
Outside.
Offsides.
Okay. Line up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Well, referee Ron Coleman looked like he signaled offsides, but say someone was lined up in the neutral zone. So it'll be 3rd and 11 for Fairhope. As Leonard looks to the sideline for the call from coach and offense coordinator Tim Carter. Man in motion for the Pirates. Setting up the screen, get it out to Cohen. Cohen is brought down, Corey, right at the line of scrimmage. Big tackle for Baker right there. And that'll push Fairhope to 4th down, and I believe we're going to have our heat time out here in the 3rd quarter at 5:43. So as we take the break, we're going to put up our Brain Buster and let you know coming up around the corner, the Game of the Week Brain Buster will be happening. So we'll put out a question out there, of course, see if you can think about it and come up with it and take that, take a guess at it. Go ahead, Corey.
And I do have an update on the Blount-Alma Bryant game. It is postponed till tomorrow at 10 a.m. The Leopards lead 6-0.
Interesting.
So, and that's in the 2nd quarter of play. So again, I guess multiple lightning strikes in the area.
Correct.
Postponed it until 10 a.m. tomorrow. So anybody who would like to get their high school football fix can go out and see a little Saturday high school football between Bryant and Blount. And there may be some other cancellations or some postponements of games due to the inclement weather, not only here in Mobile County, but Baldwin County as well, because Baldwin County and Daphne are under a weather delay, and they won't resume play until 9 o'clock tonight either.
Yeah, as we approach the 9 o'clock hour here, safety has to be first and foremost. It's unfortunate that the kids from Irvington have to drive all the way back up to 8 Mile to finish that game tomorrow, but you got to keep the safety of the kids and the fans in mind here. Leonard on the punt. It is 4th down. High snap. He brings it in and gets the punt off. Nice clean punt. Isaiah Dixon calls for the fair catch at the 10-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Baker at 5:34 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Baker down 14 points.
Great concentration by the Baker Hornets. Isaiah, how would you like to have somebody, you're being able to tell what they had or what kind of toothpaste they used, breathing down on you, ready to go ahead and destroy you.
You're right,
you have
Corey.
the concentration to catch that football deep in your own territory. Now here with 5:34 remaining in the 3rd quarter, this is the type of rally and the opportunity the Hornets have on 1st down, to me, to go deep in their own territory, to pass the ball deep down the field as well.
90 yards away from getting their first points of the night. Hand off to DeMarquez Williams. He plows ahead for maybe 2, possibly 3. The Hornets go to 2nd down.
Yeah, we'll give them 3 yards on that carry, but it's a positive carry on 1st down for the Baker Hornets. And again, them trailing here in this contest with 5:10 remaining here in the 3rd quarter, deep in their own territory, are able to pick up positive yardage. Again, wanting to bounce outside to the perimeter, that's where the strength of this Baker Hornets game plan is.
Sutherland rolling out to the right. Can't find a receiver, so he's just going to keep it and run. I believe he may have enough for the 1st down for where they spot him out of bounds at. And I believe that's enough, Corey.
Wonderful, wonderful play by Nick Summerlin. He surveyed the field, saw that there was nothing there, didn't force the football, decided to tuck it, and did not take a hit on the play either. Just a great heads-up play by quarterback Nick Summerlin as he does pick up the 1st down.
Referee Ron Coleman telling the chain gang, get on the move. 1st down, guys. Let's go. 4:52 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Fairhope averages 19.5 points a contest on offense, and the defense only allows 18.8 points a game. But right now they're pitching a shutout against the Baker Hornets. Little screen set up for DeMarquez Williams, and Corey, he has pay dirt all the way down the sidelines. Can he stay in bounds as Fairhope pushes him out at about the 34-yard line? So apparently he did step out earlier at the 34.
Yeah, that's the biggest play of the game for the Baker Hornets. And look at the pass. It's just a simple pass to the perimeter, taking it north and south. Are the Baker Hornets positive yardage? Now you want to build off of this type of momentum. The referees right there on top of it credited him with the correct yardage gained. And now Summerlin and his offense, with 4:31 here remaining in the 3rd quarter, have gotten into the Pirate territory.
1st and 10 for Baker. Hawkins in the backfield. They hand it off to him. Oh, Corey, and I think we all know what that flag's going to be as Hawkins got up asking for it. So that'll be a big 15 right there against Fairhope.
Yeah, anytime you make the tackle by the bird cage, by the face mask, it becomes very, very dangerous and violent.
Correct.
And in that situation, the Fairhope Pirates just got caught.
Foul. Face mask. Yes.
That's an easy call by
And I'm sure it wasn't
Coleman.
intentional by any means.
No, I mean, it's a situation to where when you do make that tackle, though, you have to make sure that you're doing it safely, and you're worried about the concern of the runner in that situation, and he was able to go ahead and bounce right back up. But the Baker Hornets are now close to knocking on the red zone.
Hawkins still in the backfield. They give it off to him again. Weaves his way around the left guard, picks up a couple, maybe two. One possible two. Second down for Baker here as they're driving to try to get on the board. Just down 14 points here in the third quarter. 3:59 remaining here in the third. This third quarter moving pretty rapidly, Cora.
Yeah, it's a situation to where the Baker Hornets, again, in the red zone territory, and I talked about it in my checklist, that teams need to capitalize in the red zone area.
And the way this third quarter is going, Baker definitely needs to get points on the boards right now. Pass out to Leo Richards. He's going to be short of the first down. I believe the line to gain is the 9, maybe about 2 yards short. So it'll be third down and short here for the Hornets as they try to get on the board with this third quarter moving so rapidly. If they don't score here, they may not get the ball back in the third quarter.
Talked about Baker being red zone ready. Well, it's a situation to where 3 points at this point in time are better than none.
Correct.
But you would much rather be able to put 6 on that board and give yourself an entire fourth quarter to try to get that other stop. And here it is. There's going to be, it looks like a timeout called by the Hornets.
Discussion time here. I think it's smart for Steve Norman to take a timeout. So at 3:02, Baker takes a timeout, and we're going to take a timeout and talk about the game of the week, Brain Buster. We teased it earlier. All right, Corey, here it is. Put on your thinking cap. See if you can get this one. Baker has had only one football coach who can claim a winning record at the school. Can you name him? Baker has had only one football coach who can claim a winning record at the school. Can you name him, Corey?
I can, and I will wait for the crowd to sit on this Brain Buster because you got me last week. So it's a situation to where it is going to be
you think you know this one, huh?
Corey here, knowing the knowledge that I have
Oh,
of this
my
Baker Hornet
word.
program.
I'm so glad we don't have the cameras here anymore tonight. But we'll give you that answer later on in the contest. Al Wheaton, Corley Bounty, Kimberly Dunn down on the sidelines. Got to welcome our folks over here at Pirate Nation Live for watching us. They're across the bay catching our feed. Unfortunately, due to some weather here at halftime, we will not be having our cameras atop the press box to show Corey and I in our pink polos, courtesy of Future One, as we honor Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we'll just be visual, but Kimberly Dunn, we'll put the camera on her for the rest of the ball game. Williams in motion on the jet sweep. Third and short here. He's trying to turn the corner. Does he have enough to make it, Corey? I think he's going to be short by maybe about a yard.
It's a situation, though, that you're going to have to go for it in this fourth down. I think he got enough for the first down, and he does. And that's huge for the Baker Hornets. And that's a situation to where you're in this red zone area and you want to be able to score.
They got us up tonight,
and if you're the
Corey.
Hornets, you got to find a way right here to punch it in. Now you're inside. You can still pick up the first down because if you get to the 1 yard line, it was enough for the first down. So you're right. The ball is going to be marked right at the 11-yard line of the Pirates.
So it was enough first down for Baker in the red zone, handing off to Williams as he falls over to about the 8 or 9. Let's see where they spot it at. Very critical for the Hornets to get a score right here. 2:40 and running in the third quarter. Fairhope has 1 timeout. Baker has 2 timeouts remaining as we approach the fourth soon.
Well, you have to find out where the big tight end is right here. Cade Collier.
Cade Collier, that's
He's
right.
6'5", 205 pounds, had about 3 catches in the first half. I know the Fairhope Pirates have keyed on him, but if he blocks and releases, that's who I would go to in this red
Collier
zone
does
area.
release, but they can't get it to him. Summerlin just tosses that one out of bounds. Smart play. It'll be third down. Corey, we both printed out our C2Cs. It says 6'5", but that kid's got to be 6'7", 6'8", easy.
I mean, in his wingspan
Wow.
is a situation to where you can't miss him. You may try to put put him on the outside. Doesn't have to have blazing speed,
Correct.
but just put him out there for a jump ball. Put the cornerback on an island, make him contest that. But how Baker utilizes the tight end or him, Collier that is lines him at the line of scrimmage to where he blocks and then releases. But let's see in this situation what he decides to do.
Well, he did release into the flat, but the pressure forced Summerlin outside of the pocket, and he could not throw back across his body. They get that one up, going to Richards. Richards hauls it in, and that's a touchdown for the Baker Hornets at 2:07 remaining in the third quarter.
Leonard Richards, the 6 foot, 174-pound senior, asked for a jump ball for Cade Collier. Well, Nick Summerlin decides to throw the jump ball to Leonard Richards, and he looks at him all the way from the snap, throws a nice fade to the right corner. The Hornet hooligans let the confetti go. The extra point is up, and the extra point is no good.
No good. We'll be back with more action. Baker gets on the board. It's 14-6 Fairhope for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Parents, will your child be 4 years of age on or before September 1st, 2020? If so, mark your calendar for this January for pre-K open enrollment. In order to enroll your child, you must complete the online pre-K registration. For a complete list of pre-K sites as well as screening information and selection dates, visit mcpss.com. For your chance to be a part of Alabama's first-class pre-K program, log on this January. In Mobile County Public Schools, we are learning today, leading tomorrow.
We're back at Clem Richardson Stadium for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. 10-yard pass from Nick Summerlin to Leo Richards, and that's a touchdown for Baker.
Here comes special teams play. I wouldn't be surprised if you see some type of onside kick or in a special situation to where this is where you steal a possession. You're going to ask your defense to dig in deep, but I want to see if Coach Steve Norman decides to kick some type of onside kick here or decides to go deep.
Jacob Tanner on for the kick. And he punches it into the air, end over end. And Fairhope drops it. That's a live ball. That is a live ball, Corey. And let's see who comes up with it as the officials get in. The guys are tossing and fighting. Baker signaling that they have it. And Ron Coleman does give the signal. So it is a fumble recovered by Baker.
And how huge is that in that situation, Al? Because we talked about Uncle Mo early.
Right.
Now Uncle Mo, you know, you had that interception in the red zone area in the first, and it's late in the second, in the second quarter. But what you have now is missing that extra point. It's the same thing that Fairhope did. They missed their initial extra point on their first touchdown and wound up going for a 2-point conversion in the second quarter. Now Baker, if they're able to find the red zone, they're going to have to go ahead and go for the 2-point conversion as well. But here you can open it up offensively and pass the ball to the corners.
Baker at the 22-yard line after a muffed kickoff return there, trying to take advantage, trying to get points off turnovers as Williams is wrapped up.
We talked about special teams having to be special for Fairhope in all phases in my checklist. That was on kickoffs, extra points, and punts. In this situation where you have seen them miss an extra point, you see them right there on that punt, muff it. So it's a situation where if you're the Fairhope Pirates, you don't want to be your own worst enemy.
Baker trying to connect in the end zone, and I believe he hauls it in. That is a touchdown for the Baker Hornets to Isaiah Dixon. But wait a minute, flag on the play, Corey.
And I don't know if it's roughing the passer in that situation. Looks like the touchdown may stand.
Let's double
you
check
can decline that where it was at. Ron Coleman, you don't see Baker backing up or Fairhope celebrating either. So it would happen right where the pass was thrown. Looks like it's going to go against Baker. The center is in distraught. Down the field, ineligible down the field.
Ineligible receiver down the field, so that will take the points off the board.
But what a throw by Nick Summerlin. He shows you his cannon of an arm, getting it to Isaiah Dixon. And that's just tough. I mean, that's a situation, I guarantee that's your offensive coordinator right there, Justin Patterson.
Justin Patterson getting his money's worth there with the official out on the field. He might need to get back. Get the get back, coach. Get back, coach. Get back.
But
so
again,
after the penalty, it's going to be 2nd and long for the Hornets here.
I love the play call because you were able to go vertical on your touchdown pass.
Correct.
Again, I say vertical over 10 yards, a jump ball situation. But here, I would still look to the tight end. You want to get half of those yards back here on 2nd down and close to 17, 18 yards to go.
Collier is lined up in that tight end position. He's open in the flat, but they're going to try to go to Richards. He is bumped, but no flags. No flags on the play. It'll be 3rd and long. Very interesting third quarter. Has gone by pretty quickly, but the last maybe 4 or 5 minutes have been exciting.
1:19 remaining here in the third quarter. Baker having an opportunity with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie this game up. But again, the Hornet hooligans and the rest of the Hornet fans who have stuck around have definitely been very vocal here, encouraging this offense. And I think Baker's offense going vertical has had more success than you have seen the entire first half.
Looks like that will be offsides against Fairhope as they were caught leaning in a little early. So that'll give a free 5 yards to the Hornets. Yes, Summerlin came into the ball game having thrown for nearly 900 yards on the season, and we've seen him air it out a time or two. Unfortunately, some of the guys hasn't been able to bring it in, but on that one, Richards brought it in, but penalty brings it back, takes the points off the board. So after that 5 yards, it'll be about 3rd and 11 here for the Hornets, and the hooligans are excited, Corey. Not too many left in the stands, but the hooligans definitely still there cheering on their Baker Hornets.
Nice hard count by Summerlin to draw the Pirates off sides.
Throws it to Williams, dumps it out to him. He is not tackled, but he loses his footing. Possibly the turf is slippery from that little slight shower we received. And he goes backwards to about the 25-yard line. So critical situation here for Baker. 1:12 remaining in the third quarter. Too far away to possibly attempt a field goal, but too close to punch. You got to go for it, Corey.
Yeah, you definitely go for it here, and it's a situation to where you want to put the ball in your playmaker. And at this point in time, Marquez Williams, Isaiah Dixon showed that he has some speed on the outside as well. He's going to be the outside wide receiver, has one-on-one coverage with the defensive back playing almost to the sticks.
Summerlin rolling out to the left side. He's just going to keep it and try to pick up as much as he can as he steps out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. So it'll be ball over on downs. No points off the turnover from the muffed kickoff return at 1:04 remaining in the third quarter. The Fairhope defense holds.
Well, it's a situation where if you're Nick Summerlin, you do not want to throw another interception.
No.
And you don't want to take that walloping lick trying to make something out of nothing. You knew that everybody was covered up and you didn't have any open wide receivers. So it's the same as a sky punt or a pooch punt. You're going to allow your defense, who has created a turnover here in the second half, to try to get a defensive stop and bring you back to life so you can continue with 1:04 remaining in the third quarter to have another offensive series.
First down for Fairhope. Corey, I was taking a look at the Baker sideline, and it looks like Devin Nobles is on the sideline trying to stretch his ankle out here. So he is not on the field. Critical player missing for the Hornets defense as he was tied for leading and tackling coming into this ball game as we are under 1 minute. Hand off to the back up the middle for Fairhope, picks up a couple. Kylan Cohen. It'll be 3rd down and long for Fairhope.
Yeah, it's a situation now, if you're a Baker Hornet fan, 40 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. The clock will continue to run, and they'll be able to get off this play. And after this play, if they don't pass it, we will come to a conclusion of the third quarter.
3 receivers to the near side here. Leonard scrambling. He's just going to keep it. He has enough real estate as he cuts back toward the middle. And, Corey, there it is, the slippery turf as that slight rain, almost like a dew that came down, and Leonard slips up. But is it enough for the first down as the officials are looking at it?
I think he's going to be very, very close.
I believe he's close.
And where they're going to mark him slipping down is going to bring up a third down and 1 yard to go. And that looks like with 11 seconds remaining, the clock will be wound. Let's see if they're going to run.
Like
Coleman will measure.
Wants a measurement, yeah. he calls for a measurement to bring the sticks out. It's very close from our vantage point here.
And I agree, 4th down and 1 yard to go. If he is short and does not pick up this first down, you don't want to gamble if you're Tim Carter this deep in your own territory.
Correct.
Even if it's a game of inches. But Riley Leonard shows why he was able to come back and defeat the Daphne Trojans 1 week ago with very little time remaining on the clock.
So 4th down, looks like it's about a half a yard there, Corey. Remember, Fairhope has 1 timeout remaining and Baker has 2. Coach Tim Carter burned 2 of them early in the 3rd quarter.
And I'll tell you what, Al, we've been begging for fall-type weather.
Oh, we have it now, brother.
You
wow.
definitely have it now. I mean, the temperature has dropped some 20 degrees.
We have it now.
Since kickoff.
So Ron Coleman talking to his officials here. They have taken the measurement. Looks like it's about a half a yard short. I couldn't understand what the discussion is right now. Maybe it looks like Coach Tim Carter had a question. Corey, he was holding on to the red flag as if he was going to throw it again as he's talking to the official on the sideline.
Yeah, I don't know what
maybe
you
he wanted to dispute
the spot.
The spot, but he's thrown it twice. I don't believe you receive unlimited challenges, but he wants an explanation of some sort because he is pretty livid right now.
And again, the officials are going to take the time to talk to him, and it's just a matter of where the initial spot was of the football. And if we have an opportunity, I don't know if we're able to recall and pull up a replay on our end, but it certainly looked from my eyes and my eyesight perched up right here at the 50-yard line right on this press box, that when he was rushing the football that he did have the first down. But again, it doesn't matter what I saw. It matters what the officials called on the field. Tim Carter talking with Ron Coleman, asking for the explanation.
We sit at 11 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. And there's the signal to start the game clock. And it's pretty much just going to tick on out. Leonard won't even have to punt this one. They'll just switch ends, and we'll call it the end of the 3rd quarter here with Fairhope on top 14-6 at Clem Richardson Stadium for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. All right, while we have a break, Corey, we're going to put up that question and reveal the answer for our Game of the Week Brainbuster. You said it pretty confidently. You knew the answer, so let's put the question out there. Baker has had only one football coach who can claim a winning record at the school. Corey LeBounty, can you name him?
Man, Al, I'm going to roll the dice this evening.
Okay.
And I'm going to say it's Jack French.
All right, let's see the answer.
That's the dice I'm going to roll, Al.
Let's see the answer. Jack French, 27-15 record from 2011 to 2014. The only head coach to have a winning record here. Corey, now here's your +1. I don't give you a +1 every week, but here's your +1. Coach French came in and was the first coach to take Baker back to the playoffs in over 22 years.
Yeah, that is very much so.
Had quite an impact here at Baker.
I mean, and he's having quite an impact down the road at Faith Academy as well.
Correct.
As he has the Faith Academy Rams undefeated, looking for that epic showdown with the Viger Wolves coming up again. And you're looking at a situation to where Faith Academy is in uncharted territory, but Derek Scott and his Wolves never give up on those guys.
Yeah, Coach Steve Norman told me Jack French, great guy, worked under him. He's been an assistant here 16 years at Baker as an educator and assistant. And Coach Steve Norman has now called a timeout, Corey, before we can start the fourth quarter. So we'll take a look right now. We have a break at the local 6A Region 1 standings. We'll pick back up with the standings in the area. Toughest region, I feel, in the state of Alabama, 6A Region 1. As you can see, Sarah Land on top right there in Spanish Fort, both undefeated region play, along with St. Paul's. And Blunt sitting solid in 4th at 3-1. And Daphne, quite a year they're having, had to forfeit a loss to Spanish Fort earlier in the season. And a couple teams, I'm a bit surprised at Baldwin County. Thought it would have been a bit better there, Corey, but down at the bottom there, Baldwin County, Robertsdale, Gulf Shores, and Rain. We'll try to slip in the 7A Region 1 standings right quick. Take a look at them. And this is what we're doing now. This does reflect the win last night. So Theodore is 5-0. Murphy with that loss drops to 2-2. Murphy owns the tiebreaker over Fairhope. You talked about that earlier. So this is a big game for the Hornets and also the Pirates tonight, because Fairhope wouldn't want to drop it and go to 2-3. And they're down a tiebreaker to Murphy.
Got to clean this ball. Got to field this ball cleanly off of this Fairhope punt. It's an opportunity for the Baker Hornets to capitalize if you're able to do so.
Great punt by Leonard. Booms it past the receiver there. I'm sorry, the returner. And that goes out of bounds at about the 26, 27-yard line. So great punt by Riley Leonard.
Another lightning delay at Pritchard Stadium. Viger leads LaFleur 8-6 with 2:45 left in the first half.
Wow.
So we felt the wind gust and a few raindrops, but we definitely avoided the lightning delays, because a lot of teams, again, are not even into the second half of action in their football games.
I wonder if they'll go with a postponement there or if they will continue to play it on out. If the weather's good, they're going to try to play it out. So 14-6 right now. Baker down. 11:57 remaining in the ball game. The rubber meeting the road right here. Their PAT was no good, so they're looking to try to get a score and possibly two to tie this up. Williams running up the middle for a couple of yards. Both teams down to one timeout remaining in the contest, and the clock is ticking under 11:45.
Plenty of time left on the clock. No need to panic. No need to make bad decisions. If you're the Baker Hornets, you want to make sure you value and take care of the football. Make sure you wrap it up on every play. But again, I like the verticality when offensive coordinator Justin Patterson decided to throw the ball down the field to his wide receivers, because a couple of his wide receivers are in one-on-one coverage and have shown they can catch the football.
Someone rolling out, does have a man downfield and doesn't get enough on it. That's an interception, his second one of the ball game, as Fairhope hauls it in.
Yeah, that's another turnover by the Baker Hornets, and they're able to capitalize all the Fairhope Pirates. So let's see now with the Pirates, it's essentially plus territory for them as they're able to get the football right at midfield.
You're right about that. Let's take it down the sidelines, check in with Kimberly Dunn. She has an update.
Yes, I was able to. I've been paying attention to the weather, and I have luckily a guy here beside me that has the radar, and we just barely missed that rain that was coming over us. So thankfully it did not postpone our game, but we are hoping that everyone else is staying safe that did get the rain. And like you said, it has been a dramatic temperature drop. I just checked the weather, and it's about 74 degrees right now here, so it is feeling great here on the field. So if these guys could take advantage of that and just continue to play some good football, then they have some great weather to do it.
First and 10 for Fairhope. Cohen on the run there, picks up about 5. Be 2nd and 5 for the Pirates.
10:50 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Now you have a second down and 5 yards to go, as you mentioned, Al. And the Hornets are going to have to find a way to have a stop, because you don't want to allow the Pirates to bleed this clock down to the 7-minute mark or below. And you have to find a way. I know your defense has been on the field for a while here in the fourth quarter, or to start the fourth quarter, carrying over from the third quarter, but you have to find a way to get the crowd back involved.
Leonard completes that pass to Matthews, I believe, and he gets up to about the 36, 37-yard line. Dre Matthews hauling it in. That's a first down. One thing I can say about Fairhope tonight, Corey, when they've had the ball, they've tried to hold on to it, but most importantly, holding on to the time of possession. Their offense has been on the field a lot tonight.
Yeah, that's huge for the Baker Hornets, because we mentioned going into halftime how winded and gassed the defense had been just because of the time of possession. Started missing a lot of tackles, arm tackles, and Fairhope was able to kind of get on the board in the second quarter, but you don't want that to happen, especially here late in the fourth quarter.
Pirates on the carry, pushing that ball up about 4 or 5 yards. Cohen once again handling the running duties for the Pirates as they're eating up clock as we approach 9 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the contest.
You're looking at the Fairhope Pirates. They wanted to limit the explosive plays of the Baker Hornets, and besides that 10-yard touchdown, they've been able to do that. From a penalty standpoint, which were drive killers for Coach Tim Carter, here in the second half, they've cleaned that up a little bit as well.
Back to Cohen again. They're continuing to feed him the rock as he falls forward close to another first down. One thing I'm impressed about Leonard, Corey, he's good on his distribution. The kid's just a junior, so if he can stay healthy, he's got another year for Fairhope.
Yeah, you're talking about a young man, again, that excels on the basketball floor. I have an
Correct.
opportunity to call his high school basketball games and watch him in the summertime during AAU. And, folks, if you think he's a special talent and what he was able to do on the football field 1 week ago against the Daphne Trojans, he's just as special on the basketball floor.
Gotcha.
Just a deadly assassin from beyond the three-point line and a slasher as well.
So that was a first down for Cohen. He picks it up as Fairhope continues to ground and pound. I think Tim Carter is seeing something that he can take advantage of, Corey, and continuing to do the same thing. Run, 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 run. Oh, we'll slip a pass. Run,
Yeah.
run, run, we'll slip a pass.
I would definitely run the ball down the Baker Hornets' throat in this last 8:30 here in the fourth quarter. And I think there may be an injury on the field for the Baker Hornets.
Correct. One of the Hornets down on the field right now. Destin Tolbert, outside linebacker, grimacing with pain as the trainers come out to take a look at him. Take a look at the Alabama Sports Writers Association state poll, starting with 4A. The UMS Wright Bulldogs are still a top class 4A poll and still possessing the state's longest winning streak, now at 24 games, making their first entrance back into the top 10 poll in over a decade. The Williamson Lions, Corey, sitting at a solid number 5, following their win over BC Rain last week. Andalusia just outside with 15 votes, and Hillcrest Evergreen falls out of the top 10 after losing to T.R. Miller last week. Swing it over to the 5A poll. The only change here is number 3 Central Clay County swapping spots with Ramsey after they lost to number 1 Jasper. Faith Academy and Jackson still on the outside looking in the 6A poll. Saraland still on top, the unanimous choice at number 1. And the remaining 4 hold tight in the top 5. Blunt moves up to 6 from 7, and Carver Montgomery drops to 10. St. Paul's picks up a few more votes, still outside with 29. And the 7A poll is pretty simple. Nothing changed. Same exact poll from last week. Theodore sitting at number 6 and McGill sitting at number 2. So there's your recap for the Alabama Sports Writers Association top 10 polls as the trainers continue to look at Tolbert down on the field. Looks like he's going to be able to sit up a bit there. Hopefully the young man can get off on his own power.
Yeah, and I'm going to try, as we're looking at an injury situation, to try to get some score updates from the Mobile and Baldwin County area. And you'd like to see that young man be able to get up and walk over on his own 2 feet in that situation. Daphne leading Baldwin County 14-0. UMS Wright, you mentioned the number 1 team in the 4A polls, leading Hillcrest of Evergreen 28-14 in the fourth quarter. Williamson trailing Andalusia 21-0. Faith Academy leading Wilcox Central 37-0.
So Tolbert off the field with his own power, second and about 8 yards here. Man in motion for Fairhope. And they hand it off to Cohen as he takes his time on the delay, waits to get the blocker, let the block set up, gives it time, and I believe he falls forward for another first down.
Yeah, we saw that situation to where the running game in the second half, in the second quarter by the Fairhope Pirates with fresh bodies coming into the game made that difference. And in this situation, it's your workhorse for the Fairhope Pirates, pushing the ball in. And Cohen, we mentioned Cohen coming in, had rushed the ball over 95 times for 370 yards, 6 rushing touchdowns. Now he has over 100 carries for the season for the Pirates.
Ball on the 12-yard line. The Pirates in the pistol formation, giving it back to Cohen, and he pulls the trigger and goes for it to about just inside the 10-yard line. It'll be second down. Now the Pirates can pick up a first down without having to score. It's not a first and goal situation. And there's a Pirate on the ground grimacing there, Corey. Looks like one of the linemen for Fairhope. Down on the ground, so I believe James Inman there. at 7:31 remaining here in the contest.
Some other score updates. Saraland leading Gulf Shores 42-3. Leroy leading Chickasaw 36-14. Bayside Academy was leading the defending state champions Floamington 14-12 as well.
Got to thank our folks over there at Firehouse Subs tonight for taking care of the crew and providing us with the eat. So enjoy more subs, save more lives. A portion of subs purchased will go to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation, providing life-saving equipment to first responders. So, Corey, thanks to Jim and Susie Sherman at the Greenlight Road location, doing a great job feeding the crew, so we appreciate that. Also, Future Ones, where you can get team apparel and equipment from baseball to wrestling and all sports in between. So wear the future with Future Ones. And, Corey, we're wearing our pink polos tonight in observance of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, October. Matter of fact, Corey, I'm going to say it, I've had a pink shirt on every day this week.
And it's a situation to where you look at the cheerleaders, they have their pink pom-poms.
Correct.
As well, you see a lot of pink signage along the railing here at Clem Richardson Stadium also.
So Inman hopping off there. Fairhope lost another lineman early in the ball game, Will McLean. He wasn't able to make it back out. So another lineman goes down for the Pirates as they are second down and about 8 yards. They could pick up a first down without scoring. Switching to a little wildcat formation as Cohen takes the direct snap and gets it to about the 5-yard line. It'll be third down for Fairhope as the clock runs, approaching 7 minutes remaining in the ballgame.
McGill-Tulin defeats Foley 42-0. That is a final as well. Centronell leading Satsuma 14-7. Davidson leading Mary G. Montgomery 35-14 over at Ladd Peoples Stadium.
That's a surprise to me there, Corey. We had MGM last week playing against Citronelle, so maybe Davidson getting things together. You never know in a region like this, especially when you have 9 teams in the region. Things can flip on a dime. Wildcat formation once again. Man in motion. Cohen going to keep it, trying to pick him a hole to run through. Bouncing off, guys. I don't know if he's in the end zone, but there is the signal. That is a touchdown 6-yard run for Kylan Cohen as he punches it in.
That's exactly what Fairhope needed to kind of salt this game away.
Right.
I mentioned about 5 minutes ago that Baker could ill afford to let the Pirates salt some 4.5 minutes away, and they were able to do so.
On for the PAT, Bobby Noel had one blocked earlier in the contest. Gets this one up, and it's a bit short. Cannot make the crossbar. Fairhope on top, 20-6. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. We welcome you back to Clem Richardson Stadium for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. The Hornets down 20-6 to Fairhope. And there's Buzz right there, Corey. He's trying to stay excited, but the Hooligans a bit quiet. We didn't get a chance to talk about second half adjustments, Corey. Right now, Baker down 20-6. What kind of adjustment you think Coach Norman needs to make right now? 6 minutes remaining in the ball.
You got to preach to your guys. It's not over until the clock hits 000. You're telling your offense right now, guys, all we need is a score.
Right.
You know the special teams onside kick is coming with any type of score, and all it takes is one big play, but you cannot turn the football over here as time continues to tick away for the Baker Hornets. You can have a nice drive down the field, but you don't want to go 3 and out. You want to sustain some type of drive to where you score with at least maybe 3.5 minutes remaining. And I do believe you have one timeout in your back pocket that you can burn. So, again, your goal here is to kind of run your 2-minute hurry-up offense without turning the ball over. Try to score before that 3:30 mark. Give your team an opportunity to kick that onside kick, because I guarantee the Baker Hornets, as much time as they spend on special teams, Coach Norman, if he gets a score, that onside kick is coming.
Okay.
And it gives you an opportunity, a 50-50 chance with that ball bouncing, taking a correct bounce to go in your favor.
Hawkins brings that ball up to about the 25-yard line on the return. So at 6:17, Ron Coleman has called for the Heat timeout. That'll be our last Heat timeout. Of course, speaking of timeouts, you're right. Both coaches contain or have one timeout remaining here in the contest. And you're right. I think the rubber's meeting the road right here for Baker. You want to get a quick score, a quick hit, then try to get that ball back as some of the scores trickle in there. So Baker down 20-6 to Fairhope, ball on their own 28-yard line, facing 6 minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the contest to try to get some points on the board. Nick Summerlin back there, backed up by DeMarquez Williams in the backfield. I'm sorry, that's Hawkins back there. Summerlin rolls out, just going to keep it. He's still in bounds, hasn't been tackled yet, and finally brought down at about the 36-yard line. He ran a lot to get 8 yards, Corey.
One of the things that you've learned out of tonight's contest, play until you hear the whistle.
Correct.
One of the things I know I talked about on my checklist that the Pirates had to be able to do was sail strong for 4 quarters of football. Right here, you don't want to have any type of mental lapse that will allow the Baker Hornets to get onto the scoreboard as they try that delayed screen. The good thing is it's incomplete, and it does stop the clock with a fresh set of downs.
Went into the dirt there. That ball intended for fullback Derek Nobles. It'll be 3rd and about 3 here for the Baker Hornets. Baker bringing in their substitutions. Does stop the clock at 5:39 here in the contest. Big 3rd down here for the Hornets. I don't see Collier in the ball game, the big tight end there. You're right. Quick out as they try to get it to Richards. That pass incomplete. It'll be 4th down for Baker. Corey, our Career Tech Education Player of the Game, who you think about tonight possibly as some candidates? I'm thinking Riley Leonard won, and also maybe even a running back for Fairhope.
Cohen.
Kylan Cohen as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a situation, if you're the Fairhope Pirates, definitely those 2 young men are the leading candidates for the Fairhope Pirates. If you're the Baker Hornets, even though Summerlin has thrown that interception, I think he's still, him and Nobles defensively.
Yeah, Devin Nobles, I thought about that as well.
We've called his name a lot also.
So that is a completed catch as Isaiah Dixon hauls it in. Man, it was close to the turf, but the chain gang moves. Ball on the 34-yard line, and the clock ticking. 5:25 remaining here in the contest, and Baker going with the hurry-up. Williams goes in motion to the top of the screen. 4 receivers at the top, and they're looking to catch Leo Richards. He's wide open, reaches out, and cannot haul it in, Corey. That would have been a spectacular catch if Richards could have brought it in.
That's the difference in the game. I mean, it's a situation to where that ball hits him in his hands twice. Nice spiral by Summerlin. He leaped out and dove forward, stretched out. That's all you can ask him to do in that situation, is to sacrifice his body for that football, and he wasn't able to come away with it. But that would have been definitely a play of the game for the Hornets.
Summerlin with the quick out, has Hawkins across the middle in the flat, and that is incomplete and dropped. Let's take it to the sidelines, check in with Kimberly Dunn.
I was able to get an injury update for number 61 for the Fairhope Pirates, and it looks like he has sustained a hamstring injury. They were over there trying to work that out. He is still having to be helped over to the bench, and we're not sure if he's going to be able to make it in for the rest of the game.
Thank you, Kimberly. She's talking about Inman for Fairhope there. 5:03, 3rd and 10. Baker trying to pick up at least a 1st down in the same formation they were in first down when they had the incompletion to Richards. Summerlin rolling out to the right side, delay screen, like you said. Hawkins, that was completed to Hawkins as he falls for it for the first down. No flags on the play, so that'll stop the clock momentarily. And the Hornets trying to get some momentum going here, Corey.
You still have, again, you want to score before that 3:30 mark. I think that's the time to where you want to be. 4:53 remaining here in the fourth quarter as that clock continues to run once they have spotted the football. So if you're Baker, you have to have a sense of urgency.
Correct.
And go ahead and get their next play call very quickly.
Switching out personnel, bringing in big tight end Cade Collier. Williams deep in the backfield. Summerlin rolled out. That one tipped. The tip drill is brought in as the Pirates haul it in on the interception. Trying to take it to the house for Fairhope. On the run, still hasn't been brought down. Bringing that ball in for Fairhope on the interception. And that pretty much might be the end of it for the Hornets tonight. TJ Banks off the tip drill. Here's the replay.
It's a situation to where undercut the route and the tip drill was in effect. The Fairhope Pirates now with 4:19 remaining in the fourth quarter are automatically into the red zone area of the Baker Hornets. They would love to continue to cushion this lead and make it 26-6.
Right.
With 4:19 remaining, but I don't think Coach Tim Carter's just going to sit on top of the football. I think he's going to go ahead and go for the jugular, not necessarily with the pass play, but giving it to the workhorse tonight in Cohen.
Third interception for Nick Summerlin tonight. Cohen on the run once again. So as we approach 4 minutes, Corey, what do you say about our Career Tech Education Player of the Game? Who are you thinking about tonight?
I'm still leaning in the direction of Riley Leonard, but I'll tell you what.
I'm with you.
If Cohen is able to pop one in here from 7 yards out, I'm going to go Cohen because he had the long 24-yard touchdown run.
Right.
And if he's able to punch this in from 6 yards out, I think he'll definitely
ran one in for 6 yards the last time.
So if Cohen scores this, he's going to be the most valuable player. If Riley Leonard does, there's no question he'll also be the most valuable player.
Leonard on the carry right there, getting close to the end zone. There's the whistle. You're right, Corey. Played to the end. That's something we learned earlier tonight.
So it's a situation now with 3:15 remaining here in the fourth quarter. The Pirates knocking at the door. Third down and 2 yards to go now.
Third and goal here, yeah.
For the Fairhope Pirates. And again, I just think it's a situation now to where it's just a matter of how you want to pad your stats. If Riley Leonard gets into the end zone, he's going to continue to pad his stats. If Cohen gets in, he's going to pad his.
That is true. That is true. Cohen lined up in the backfield. Third and goal here. They hand it off to Cohen. He picks his way into the end zone. And, Corey, I believe we're going to make him the Career Tech Education Player of the Game. His third score of the night had a 24-yard score, a 6-yard score, and a 2-yard run for Kylan Cohen.
Kylan Cohen, we mentioned him being the workhorse with over 100 rushing attempts on the season, is also a very versatile back coming out of the backfield, but is able to lower his head. And again, the thing I like about Cohen is he never falls backwards once he's hit.
You're right.
He always finds a way to fall forward, and from that running back position, that's so very important. He also takes care of the football.
Noel PAT is no good. So Noel does not hit on any of his extra points tonight. 2:42 remaining here in the contest. We'll be back after this short break. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
My name is Harshini. I'm a junior at Davidson High School, and after graduation, I plan on pursuing a career in dermatology. Currently, I'm taking science classes such as AP Chemistry, Biology, and Human Anatomy, which will help me pursue my career. I feel as though Mobile County is preparing me for my career choice in that they provide rigorous classes that help me think further beyond just what I'm learning. I'm Harshini Cannon, a junior at Davidson High School, and I'm learning today so I can be a leader tomorrow.
Welcome back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. That touchdown by Kylan Cohen set up by the big tip drill interception by T.J. Banks. Unfortunately, the third INT for Nick Summerlin tonight, Corey, as Baker down 26-6. And Fairhope has hit their average plus a little more tonight here at Clem Richardson Stadium.
I know Tim Carter has to be extremely happy that his Fairhope Pirates have found a way to create turnovers, and off of generating those turnovers, it has led to points on the board.
Right. Freer kept that one on the ground. One of the up guys for Baker pulls it in at 2:34. And keep in mind, Tim Carter challenged 2 plays in the first half and lost both of the challenges. And on top right now, 26-6.
Even though he lost both of the challenges, I think both of them were in his favor in all actuality because of the angles and the camera work that our crew provided for us.
Right.
It showed that both of those challenges were very valid and could have gone his way, but the officials saw something different due to the camera angles that were provided to the instant replay crew because, again, Ron Coleman and his staff do not have the same exact views that we do. But I want to go back and talk about my checklist. You know, don't go overboard with the turnovers was one of the keys that the Fairhope Pirates had to have. And even though they had a couple of them, it did, and it was not detrimental to them winning this contest because the points off turnovers is what really hurt the Baker Hornets in tonight's game.
It was. 2:27 remaining here in the contest.
Baker trying to be red zone ready. You look at the situation to where our halftime score said it was 14-0. Baker comes out and scores in the third quarter to make it 14-6 and still had an opportunity to get into the red zone and still could not capitalize. So that's something that I know Coach wants to work on next week. And you look at the Baker Hornets, they're going to play at Bryant next week.
Right, and they're at Bryant next week. Then they're going to host Murphy, then at McGill and at MGM for the Battle of West Mobile. So Baker's got a tough road to hoe there as they are all region tight the rest of the season here. That's a first down for Baker. We'll try to get up our Career Tech Education Player of the Game as we approach 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the contest, Corey. Baker switching out their personnel. It'll be first down and 10 for them. Ball at about the 36-yard line.
Yeah, you look at the Fairhope Pirates. Out of these two teams, you look at Fairhope probably having the more favorable schedule.
You're right.
Out of the two with the schedules or the games that are remaining left for the Pirates.
Summerlin throws his receiver. You're right. Fairhope, they're going to host Foley next week. Then they catch a bye. Then they host Bryant. And the last game of the season, they're at McGill-Tulane. So Foley, I would say, has the lighter of the two schedule. There's a look at the player right there, Corey, and you're right. I'm going to go with you. Number 6, Kylan Cohen of Fairhope. 3 touchdowns tonight, 2 yards, 6 yards, and 24 yards. But he had a lot of yards on the ground as he ran that ball.
Yeah, finding a way to, again, be that elusive runner for the Fairhope Pirates and just continue to get extra yardages. There's going to be another interception
I believe that is
by the
another,
Fairhope Pirates on
right.
the tip drill.
That's Grayson Hook's second interception of the ball game as he hauls one in, and the Pirates continue to add to it. Next week, we're taking it to Ladd Stadium, back to the friendly confines. It'll be Davidson versus Murphy. Next Friday, 6:50. Make sure you join us for another 7A Region 1 contest. So that's Grayson Hook's second interception tonight. He had one in the end zone early in the ball game, Corey, as Baker was trying to drive to score.
4 turnovers by the Baker Hornets, and that's something that, again, Baker could not afford to do, was turn the football over, especially 4 times. But with 1:37 remaining here in the fourth quarter, like you mentioned, new personnel coming in for the Fairhope Pirates. Ian Parrish in at quarterback now for Fairhope.
He hands off to Glenn Patrick. Patrick just running around scrambling. Finally brought down at about the 35-yard line. And here's Coach Tim Carter coaching till the end, Corey. 1:21 remaining in the ball game.
Coach Tim Carter, a head coach who has actually played in a state and coached in the state championship game as the head coach at Auburn High School.
Right.
Played against the Hoover Bucks in the 2013 state championship game, if I'm not mistaken, for the Auburn Tigers. And it was kind of a weird situation when he took over for the Fairhope Pirates. Him and Adam Weingarten just swapped schools, and that's something that you don't really see a lot of, especially as far as location-wise, maybe locally within the same type of area or region, but not when you go from 7A Region 1 to 7A Region 3 or 4, not that type of swap. But again, Pirate Nation joining us tonight on the broadcast.
That's correct. That's correct.
I want to go ahead and thank them for joining in with the MCPSS television network and having an opportunity to broadcast over in Baldwin County as part of the Pirate Nation.
You're right about that, Corey. Another cool little trivia fact about 2013, when Coach Carter took Auburn to that championship game. That was the last year where they had all the big schools in 6A. The next year, they created Class 7A.
And that was huge. I mean, now the state of Alabama with 7 classifications makes a difference. 7A.
And there's only 28 schools in Class 7A.
So that makes a huge difference as well when you start talking about it.
Handoff once again to Patrick as we are under 1 minute here. And Fairhope in full control. 26-6 on top of Baker coming into Clem Richardson Stadium. And as I said at the top of the broadcast, pillaging and plundering they had on their mind, and they definitely brought it out. Time of possession, run game, all on top of everything tonight for the Fairhope Pirates.
And that's a situation, you know, credit to that offensive line of the Fairhope Pirates. And you look at the starters for the Pirates, Colby Sanford, Will McLean, Jason Jarrell, Clayton Rhodes, and Ben Hoover. Even though there were a couple of injuries on that offensive line tonight, they still were able to find a way to get it done or continuing to run the ball effectively with 10 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter.
Patrick on one last carry there. And that was ball over on downs. It was 4th down as the few remaining Hornet faithful start making their way to the exits at 12.3 seconds remaining here in the contest.
One of the things that you see here at Clem Richardson Stadium is the beautiful baseball facility that is here on campus, as well as the practice field that we can see overlooking the top of this press box. You also see the nice brought-in scoreboard, the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
In the end zone area here at Clem Richardson Stadium. So just a wonderful and festive high school atmosphere as we continue to see the oak trees continue to be rolled from homecoming 1 week ago, the win over Jackson Aggies. Just a great campus and a great high school atmosphere out here at Clem Richardson Stadium.
Summerlin hands that one off to Hawkins. And that'll probably be our final play of the ball game tonight as Fairhope gets the win 26-6, but most importantly, a big region win for the Pirates as they knock off Baker here at home 28-6. Coach Carter and Coach Norm are going to shake hands. Corey, typically around this time we would flip around to the camera, but due to that weather at halftime, we had to take some equipment down to be on the safe side. So we'll be checking in with Kimberly Dunn soon as she tries to catch up with Coach Tim Carter to get some words from him. But interesting contest tonight. A lot of running, a lot of possession from Fairhope as they ate a lot of clock tonight.
Fairhope goes to 19-0-2 all time versus the Baker Hornets. And that's something that I know the Baker Hornets wanted to use as motivation all week long, trying to become that first team to ever defeat the Fairhope Pirates. They're going to have to wait one more year to try to get that win over this Pirate program.
Coach Norman told me that earlier in the week. Everyone knows about it. They were excited. The fact that they wanted to get that win over Baker, and I mean, that win over Fairhope, never have defeated the Pirates. And tonight they kind of felt they had a good opportunity set up coming into the ball game on a 2-game winning streak. Both teams on a 2-game winning streak, but not able to capitalize tonight as Fairhope pretty much just put their will, put their sheer power, determination on top of the Hornets as they kept that ball all during the ball game as Kimberly's trying to set up with Coach Tim Carter and our Career Tech Education Player of the Game, Kylan Cohen, who put on quite a display tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he just, again, just a strong, powerful runner. A critical game, giving the Baker Hornets their first home loss on the season.
You're right about that. I believe they're getting set up and almost ready there as the players are showing good sportsmanship, shaking each other's hands. Let's take it down to Kimberly with winning coach Tim Carter and Career Tech Education Player of the Game, Kylan Cohen.
Well, congratulations on the win tonight, and we are here with our Career Tech Education Player of the Game, Kylan Cohen. How do you feel about your team's win tonight?
It was a team effort. You know, we finished strong and executed throughout practice all week, so it paid off.
Okay, so how do you feel they performed tonight?
Oh, it was good. It was a great win. I thought Baker played really hard. It was a very interesting game, and then we were able to kind of put it away in the fourth quarter. I'm proud of our kids, proud of this guy. He had a little injury he was dealing with. He just kept going, though. So that's he's a warrior.
Yeah, it's great to overcome things like that. So what kind of mindset did you have to stay in to help your team accomplish this win?
You know, we just lock in. That's all. Just stay locked in.
Stay locked in.
Yeah, that's all. Just finish strong, stay locked in.
Good. So what does this region win mean to you and your team?
Well, it keeps us alive for the playoffs, and you know we got a couple more games. We got 3 more left. So, but this was a big win. Baker was in contention, and this just kind of moves us a little bit further forward. So, and it's 3 in a row. That's what I'm most proud of. Our kids have won 3 games in a row, and seem to be getting better and better.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the win tonight to both of you.
Yeah, I mean,
all
it's
right,
a big
thank
win.
you, Kimberly. We appreciate that. Big win for Fairhope. Corey, take a look at those last statistics for the ball game as we wrap it up.
One that stands out, Fairhope had 271 rushing yards,
Wow.
40 passing yards, 315 total yards. They limited their turnovers to just 1, had 6 penalties for 45 yards. Baker only able to establish 70 rushing yards, 107 passing yards for 177 total yards to 4 turnovers.
Yeah, that was
and
huge.
the points off turnovers were the difference in tonight's contest.
There's a look at the stats right there. All right, Fairhope gets the win 26-6. Got to thank our friends over there at Pirate Nation Live TV for tuning in and catching our feed tonight. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. And next week, join us again. We're taking it to Ladd Peoples Stadium for another 7A Region 1 matchup. It'll be Davidson versus Murphy. And I think, Corey, that's going to be a good one right there.
Playoff implications again. Murphy and Davidson still trying to stay alive here with 3 games remaining.
You're looking at about 4 teams fighting for 2 spots. So join us next week at 6:50 for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. For executive producer Quentin Howard, director Wade Ford, Kimberly Dunn, and Corley Bounty, I'm Al Wheaton, thanking you for joining us tonight for another edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Have yourself a great night.